Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is our Ghosts of Saltmarsh Patreon Greyhawk campaign. I am Stella Luna. I will be your host and DM for tonight. As you can see, we are playing this game with all these very, very lovely people. They are our Patreons. Because of them, we are able to do all kinds of really awesome stuff at this channel. We get to run one-shots, marathons, special events. Without them, none of this would be possible. If you want to see what you can get for being a Patreon, you can check out that link there in the chat. Thank you, all of you wonderful, beautiful people. I love you so much. We also have a YouTube. If you want to see previous episodes of this game, you can find them on YouTube as well as our other campaigns. And there are ways that you, my dear viewers, can interact with this game. You can redeem your channel points, which are you can gather for free just by hanging out with us, lurking, chatting. And you can turn those into blessings, which are advantage die or rerolls for the players of your choice, including myself. Or if you'd like to add an element of fate to the narrative, every $10 guarantees a draw from the deck of many things to the player of your choice. You might make them happy, you might make them cry. Some terrible things have happened, and we will resolve some of the terrible things that have happened last session. Today, we will be jumping right into it. You can also find a few other incentives there in the chat as well. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. Before we do, we're going to go around and reintroduce our characters. So please tell me who you are and tell me a little bit about who you're playing. And we'll start off with Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch at Emma Panada, where I run TTRPG games because, holy fuck, Kappa, Jesus Christ.
Jesus, what the fuck?
For one,
what? I'm don't mean to interrupt you. Oh my god.
Wow.
Adam, thank you so much. And
Christ.
Maddie, yes, thank you.
Oh wow. Oh.
What?
Word for it now.
I do TTRPG things on my channel. You can hang out with me there, or I shit post on Twitter. I'm also going to be joining the other Wednesday game on this channel, the Witchlight campaign, and my first session for that will be next week. So that'll be real exciting.
Who are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing Arlen Ruvaloth, a cleric who is pretending to be an adventurer and has been passing off her parents' exploits as her own for a while now. But early on in the campaign, like session 1, we got a cursed sword that was given to Arlen, and ever since she's been walking down a darker path.
Excellent. All right, Emma. You have to draw 6 cards.
Holy fuck.
Whoa.
I'm sorry.
Statistically, some of these have got to be good, right?
Statistically.
So we did revamp a lot of these cards. I think you're statistically fucked.
Oh God. Okay. Well, thank you people for the donations. That's incredibly kind of you.
Thank you, thank you.
But all right. Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
All right, 3 more.
Stop.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
And stop.
Okay. Well, I can tell you there's not a lot of red on my desk right now, so you're probably gonna be okay.
Okay, red are the bad cards, right?
That means
Generally.
that Emma took all the good cards.
Yeah, that means we're getting the bad ones.
All the other cards are gonna screw other people over. Awesome. Thank you so much. And that was 2 nat 20s for everybody at the table as well. Thank you, thank you.
Oh wow, thank you.
Wow, thank you.
All right.
I'll take that.
Yeah, y'all will
I'll
need
need
this.
that.
Absolutely. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hey folks, I'm GeekDice. You can find me here for the Saltmarsh game, and it's pretty much the only place I'm playing online right now. This is where I live. I am playing once again KayBee, small boy, old boy, emboldened adventurer, recently knighted and aspiring to follow others to greatness. Onward together.
Awesome. And can you tell us a little bit about your companions?
Yes. So, yeah, KayBee is a wizard artificer, and recently he has animated a mechanical deer, which goes by the name of Poke. Poke is adorable and fun and happy, and we'll see what kind of trouble he can get us into. And then, of course, we have got our tiny owl friend, a miniature dwarf owl, goes by the name of Friend.
Excellent. Thank you. Next, we have GodfatherWraith.
Hi, I'm GodfatherWraith. You could call me Godfather or Wraith or GFW or pretty much anything you want except late for class. I also want to mention that KB's deer has a car alarm.
Yep. That is canon.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm playing Garen. He is a human rogue assassin who's he's a good boy for the most part.
Yeah. So far.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
Thank you so much. Next, we have Indicarus.
Hi there, my name's John. I go by Indicarus on the internet, and I'm sort of online Greyhawk expert, particularly in the land of Zeef, which is in the Baklunish west of the country, of the continent. I also do a little low-end game designing and modding. You can find those on my itch channel. And I'm here to play Paul of Ammonfort, who is a warlock who started his life as a street urchin in a pretty tough situation, but his patron, Heward of the Handy Haversack, discovered him and led him on a path to adventure, which has brought him all the way to Saltmarsh and these lovely people right here.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And next we have Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob. I am Zombie. I am Z. I am whatever those two names that call me. I am the lore keeper, clipmaster. Probably too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Today I play Finn Carson, who is a ranger researcher, who has got a very big interest into the undead. Some stuff in his past has led him to wanting to sort of find this great evil. There must be something great controlling this. I have this feeling that there must be that. And along the way, I've met all of these lovely people. And so far, we've kind of endeared ourselves to this Hannah Rist, who has graciously let us stay at her inn for a whole giant month because we're sort of trying to, get on her good side. And all kinds of random stuff has happened. I don't know how much backstory you want me to go into from last episode, but all I know is that we're probably going to start off with somebody going away to puff a smoke, maybe.
So we will bring the screen from complete darkness into the waking morning. So we see the camera slowly swerving in through one of the open windows of the snapping line here in the heart of Saltmarsh. We see that all around that various things of industry are coming to life. You see that the baker begins to open their doors, and you see little plumes of smoke rising from the chimneys surrounding the snapping line. As we wander in through this open window, we see Finn currently resting. As you are sleeping, kind of dozing, not quite fully awake yet, we see a little creature nestled up against your neck, kind of half buried in your hair. This tiny little dragon, as it snores, it goes, and it just kind of like wiggles a little bit in its sleep. It does a little thing with its hind leg where it kind of kicks you in the chest a bit, and that's enough to startle you awake. As you kind of jostle, a few things slide around. You hear the metallic thunk of something falling out of your hand and onto the floor. What do you do?
Finn will kind of like look around and he'll try to like figure out. You said it hit the floor, right? So it fell off the bed onto the floor.
Yes.
So he'll try to wiggle his way enough to like grab it off the ground, but not try to disturb the dragon boy.
Okay.
He doesn't want to interrupt his sleep.
Go ahead and roll me sleight of hand here.
Okay. It would be nice if I had my character sheet ready, but you know.
Okay. With a 5, you try to do this, but you kind of slip a little bit. The medallion has fallen a little too far out of reach, and as you're reaching, your fingers barely gripping at the edge of it, the small fairy dragon, pseudo dragon, sorry, Bims, because and you see him kind of bristle. You see his little fins beginning to rise up, and all of a sudden he just bloop, blinks out of existence, and you just hear the scampering of little claws as he scampers away somewhere into your room.
Okay, little buddy. Have fun with the play. And he'll go and he'll reach down for the thing.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely grab it. What would you like to do with it?
Well, what is it that I actually dropped?
You dropped your necklace, your pendant.
Oh, my necklace. I'll be like, oh, I thought I put this up on the nightstand. Oh, oh, I'm sorry. And then he kind of gives it a kiss, and then he puts it back onto the nightstand.
Okay. So as you kind of put it down and you begin to go about your morning ritual, we see the camera panning away from Finn and towards this object on the nightstand. And we hear the tiny little claws of something crawling up this wooden leg. And we hear the sound of a metal clasp unlocking. As the camera peers over the shoulder of this tiny, tiny dragon, we see an image. Can you describe to me what they see?
So, they see the picture of Abigail Coldwater. This would be the person that Finn has been pining over since the very beginning. So what happens is when the thing will open the locket, and so Finn will be a little bit surprised at first opening the locket and be like, oh, you're curious, buddy. Well, let me show you. And then he'll kind of like prop it up a little bit to give him a show. On the left side, you'll see a thing engraved that says Finn plus Abigail. And on the other end, you will see this, what Finn would describe as a breathtakingly beautiful woman with red hair, green attire with a bow. She was a ranger. So she has this sort of green armor, skull, chest, right in the middle. So she was big on skulls. Part of the reason that the amulet or the necklace is also a skull. She grabbed fancy with that. A moon crescent. She liked doing the sort of the war makeup and stuff. So this was her. This particular picture was taken right before their final battle together. They wanted a little bit of a memento together, thinking they were going to conquer something great together and wanted something to remember it by.
Excellent. Yeah, so you hear this object being manipulated on the nightstand, and you see that the pseudo-dragon is just leaning in, sniffing it very gently. How do you react to that?
It's sort. I guess Finn will sort of look at it sort of just innocently. I guess he'll just kind of watch out, be like, "Oh, don't make sure not to claw." He'll speak in abyssal or to it, like, make sure you don't claw anything on it. But and then he'll go to like pick it up, and he'll like lay back down with it, and he'll like say to Bims, he'll be like, if you want to come by with me and lay with it while I talk to it, you can.
So you see Bims kind of considering you, cocking their head. You know that the pseudo-dragon cannot talk to you, but all of a sudden its head whips to the side towards the door, and Bims cannot communicate to you with words, but you can get feelings, and you get this sort of sensation of panic and uncertainty just washing over this creature, and it comes at you in waves.
So something out the door is, and then he'll I guess he'll kind of close the locket, and he'll put it around his neck, and he'll be like, next time we come to bed, I'll tell you a story about this beautiful woman. And then he'll kind of get up, and then he'll kind of go towards the door, possibly open it, and then kind of look around to see if there's anything that looks dangerous or seems dangerous.
Okay. So what you will see is that Quick, the Kenku warrior, is sitting very casually in this central lobby area. You see that he is currently reading a book, and upon peeking your head out, the movement catches his eye, and you see this big, beady eye just kind of lift up towards you, and his head tilts curiously. There's nothing really interesting going on, but at the same time, Garen, you are an early riser. You have joined the others in taking up a new residence here in the Snapping Line. Would your routine change at all? What do we see in the morning of Garen here?
Well, I think Garen would still continue the normal routine of caring for his gear, cleaning and oiling his leather armor, cleaning, taking care of the bowstrings, and probably also counting the dozens of arrows that he has acquired. But then probably also tinkering with the poisoner's kit, seeing what he can make with what resources he's gathered.
Okay, excellent. So would you be doing this in the privacy of your room or in the lobby?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we don't see Garen. What about Pole?
Pole gets up early, and he will go to the local market and see what's on sale. Thinking to buy some vegetables and stuff to help KayBee get the food ready, because he knows KayBee likes to cook. He'll see if he can get some early freshness.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Okay, 18, very good. So as you're going through the market here, you will find that there are a number of stalls that bear exotic fruit, and you see that there are some that have more of your common stock of things, some road rations, things that will keep for very long. And as you're maneuvering through the market, you see a curious person. They seem to be dressed a little shrouded a little too much for the weather. Today it is a little bit on the hot side, but they have drawn in this heavy hood and they seem to be hiding in underneath this big heavy cloak. And they are standing next to you by one of these stalls.
All right. So they're deliberately hiding. I'll kind of keep an eye on them.
Okay.
But I won't say anything. I'll just kind of watch for what they're doing.
Okay.
But I'll make sure I watch my pockets as well.
All right. Go ahead and roll me a perception check as well. Okay, that's a nat 1. You do have 2 nat 20s if you want to use those.
Sure, I'll throw a nat 20.
Okay, Pole will use a nat 20. All right, so as you're kind of keeping an eye on this individual, you see that they are reaching for one of these fruits that you don't quite know where it's from. It is a very peculiar shape. It almost seems to be barbed in a way, and kind of like a banana, but it is deep purple in color, and it has these very wicked-looking leaves sprouting from one end of it. And as she is looking at this, kind of turning it over, you notice that there is a tiny, tiny hand. It is a small red hand with talons reaching out from the folds of her cloak, and it swipes a grape.
Oh, well, it's just a grape. No big deal. Live and let live. Pole will just keep watching, but won't say anything about that.
Okay.
But it's very interested that somebody has a little pet in their sleeve.
Yeah, so you have Buttons, your pet rat, with you. As you are kind of just lingering nearby, paying attention to who this person is, you do get the sense that there is some panic with your pet. Buttons seems to be scurrying further away from this person, as if trying to hide from them, burying in the folds of your new clothes.
All right, well, Paul will recognize that, and to make sure that Buttons is safe, we don't want Buttons getting eaten by some monster in somebody else's sleeve. So I'll take a couple of extra steps away, but I'll still keep an eye on them.
Okay.
See if they notice that I've backed away as well. If they make any sort of
Yeah.
but
Yeah, with the movement of you, their head just kind of naturally turns towards you, and you can see from underneath the shadow of their hood that they are a fair-skinned person, and they have these big blue eyes. And they seem a bit shocked as they look at you. And they put the fruit down, and they begin to walk away.
all right, well, Paul's gonna follow because he's just curious that way.
Okay. So they begin to maneuver away from the market, and they begin to head down a dark alley. You notice that the sounds of the market, the sounds of the public street are beginning to fade behind you with distance. Do you still pursue?
Yes,
Okay.
but at a distance, for sure.
Okay. So you round a corner and you find that you are actually at a dead end. And in this alleyway, you look around, you don't see any traces of this person.
Oh. Oh, well. Would have been handy to have someone else here to help, I guess. Well, I guess I'll go back to the inn.
Roll
I'll
me
start
another
walking.
perception check. A 7. Okay, so as you're kind of turning around to leave, all of a sudden, there's a knife at your throat as you turn around, and you see this woman just kind of precariously eyeing you. And as their hand is lifted up, you can see beneath the folds of their cloak that there's this tiny little demon head sticking out. It looks at you with these sort of feral features. It is a very, like, goblin-esque face. These sort of very sharp serpentine features, these little curling black horns. And she says to you, "Who are you? Why are you chasing me?"
Oh, I'm not chasing you. Well, I was following you. That's true. I don't know. I was interested in the little fellow you got in your sleeve there. Saw him take a grape, and I don't know. I just thought it was cute, and wanted to take a look. I don't know. I guess I shouldn't have followed you. I'm sorry. That was probably creepy. I didn't mean to be creepy.
As you say cute, you see her features kind of twist with confusion, and you see that her hand falters a little, and you hear this tiny voice coming from this creature, and it says,
I'm not cute, I'm ferocious.
"What kind of shoes are you wearing?"
I have wooden shoes that I carved myself out of some planks from the dock.
You see this creature just sort of disappear into her cloak, and then you hear the of tiny feet as it begins to move towards one of your shoes, and you see this imp. Roll me a history or arcana check. Let's see if you can recognize what an imp is.
All right. Let's see what I've got here. I've
Well,
got
look, we'll do
history.
this at advantage. Okay, 16. Yes, so you recognize that this is an imp. These tend to be very, very, very low-ranking fiends, and they are usually in the service of a warlock or another more powerful creature. So you get the sense that, if this person has an imp, they are probably a warlock. And the little creature scampers down to your shoe, and it begins to try to take it off of you.
Hey, little guy. That's my shoe. I need that. I just lost all my shoes and I had to get new ones just last night.
We need to make sure that you're not cursed. Give me your shoe, or else.
You can tell if I'm cursed by my shoes? Well, I was cursed. That's how I lost my shoes. But go ahead. I'll take off my shoe.
Okay.
I'll take off both of my shoes because it's uncomfortable standing on one wooden shoe.
You kick off both of your shoes. The imp takes one, and it kind of has to like bodily hug it as it moves back over towards this woman, and it disappears in the folds of her clothes. And she looks a bit uncertain. All of a sudden, she withdraws, kind of bundling together her clothing and presumably the imp against her, and she begins to run away.
Wait, my shoe! That's why she took my shoe. I'll grab my shoe and run after her in my bare feet.
Okay, so we see Pole just chasing after her. So we're gonna switch over to KayBee. KayBee, so what is your morning routine like here today?
So this morning, KayBee has an important task. He also is out to market. He is going to see a seamstress and commission some work. He's taken a drawing of something specific, and he's asking her to make some things that are a surprise for the group for later.
Okay.
I'll send you a DM.
Okay, very good. Is it something that you want to resolve like before, or can this wait?
It's going to take some time.
Okay, cool. So they will take your order and they figure out all the details with you. And I'm going to say that by the time that you leave the seamstress and you step out, you actually happen to catch Pole running barefoot through a crowd.
Hey, Paul, where are you going?
Someone's imp stole my shoe! And I'll hold up the other shoe and I'll keep running.
Let me know if you need some help with that.
Yeah, please help me!
Oh, okay.
Yeah, KayBee was thinking perhaps craft the shoe, but realizing this is an urgent moment, I will follow Pole.
Okay, so we see the very tiny form of KayBee chasing after Pole, Pole chasing after this woman. Can I get athletics checks from both of you?
I actually have a thing for this now. So
Okay.
I realize I need to move quick, and I do this power move with my arms, and there's a click 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 on my armor as a feature of my now mechanical armor is engaged, and I get a bonus equal to my intelligence modifier to my athletics check. So that'd be a 25.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, yeah. So we see this person fleeing. KayBee, all you can see is the back of them. You see that they are wearing some kind of hood and cloak. You can't make out any features of them. Pole is very deliberately chasing after them. Pole, you are beginning to lose ground. They are much faster than you. And then we see KayBee just goosh, 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 goosh. Describe to me how you catch up with this person and what are you going to do? You definitely overpower them.
Oh, really?
You outrun them. Yes, you catch them.
Okay, I guess I wasn't expecting to catch up to them so quickly. So as I activate my magic armor of magical strength, I suddenly leap forward, and I think I slide under one wagon and I leap over a cart, and just I catch a lot of air, just like whoosh. And Pole is probably running, is like, what? As KayBee goes through the air, does a roll, and then just springs forward, and I think I shoulder the person, and takes their feet up underneath them.
Okay, yeah. So they crash down onto the ground very bodily. You hear the soft oof of some creature by their belly, and you have subdued them. Pole, you managed to catch up, and you see that KayBee has completely flattened them to the ground.
Thanks, KayBee. Hey! What do you think you're doing? Steal my shoe.
The person turns around and produces, like, kind of fishing around inside of their cloak, and they produce the shoe and hold it out towards KayBee. And KayBee, you recognize this to be Ella. And Ella says, I'm sorry. My companion is a little hard to control sometimes. Please forgive us.
No, that's the second time.
I look to Pole to see how Pole is doing.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I hardly ever have shoes anyway. I'll grab my shoe and I'll put it back on.
Okay.
Feel taller though this way.
Stand over Ella with crossed arms.
What are we gonna do with you?
You know her?
Yeah. This is not the first time.
She steals shoes all the time?
I know. It's like a major problem.
I look around. It's like looking for somebody to concur with me that yeah, it's a major problem.
You see
mean,
that people
that's
are
a
kind
bit
of
weird.
walking around you. They're kind of looking a bit concerned, but you haven't reduced to violence quite yet. So they kind of just go along minding their own business at the moment.
I'm sorry about that. Are you okay?
Okay, and I reach down to help her up.
She definitely takes the offer. And as she kind of struggles up, you see something kind of heavy moving against her, kind of wriggling around in the folds of her clothes. She pulls her cloak closer to herself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you naked under there? It's okay. You don't have to be shy about being naked. Naked is good.
Excuse me. You see that she just becomes very flustered. You see this wash of color come over her face, and her eyes grow wide. And she says, "I will take leave now. Thank you very much."
Step on the edge of her cloak. She can't
Hey!
get away.
You
She
see her
can't get away.
pulling, and she is very noodly armed. There's no way that she's going to be able to pull it free.
Come on now. You have to explain yourself. Why is this happening?
Look, you see her beginning to sweat a little as she's struggling. She sighs and slumps a bit, defeated, looking nervously between the two of you. Look, I'm just trying to conduct a number of investigations here. That's all.
Investigations. I like investigations. Maybe we can help.
Something strange has been happening here in Saltmarsh. There are forces moving and working beyond the perception of the common people. I just want to make sure that nothing gets out of hand here. I am a little worried about one of your friends. But trust me, I'm here to make things better. I am simply here to observe and collect information. That is all I will and can do.
So, which?
Pardon me if I don't trust you. Stole my shoe.
So which
She
of
looks really
Pole's-
guilty.
Which of Pole's shoes did they take?
It was the left shoe.
Is that the same? That's the same one that happened to Finn, right?
Yes, we'll say it was.
Okay, so I'm holding her cloak down with my left shoe. I step on the cloak with my right shoe, and I take off my left shoe.
Is it what is it that we're looking for?
I hold up my left shoe, and I'm looking at it.
She looks at you, her lips twisting with uncertainty. She says, "Well, I have the ability to cast a spell to discern if there might be some malignant forces clinging to your essence."
I offer up my shoe.
She very nervously takes it.
Oh, don't worry. It's clean. I clean it every day.
Well, I can't perform the ritual here. Perhaps somewhere a little more private would be better.
Look to Pole.
This is kind of weird, but I guess I could. We have a room at the inn, just over there. I'll point down the street towards our inn.
No. Maybe this alleyway over here.
Oh,
All right.
sorry.
You see her just kind of
I elbow
suggestively pull on her cloak. Well,
Is that a yes?
yes?
Okay, let's go. I'm eager to find out what's happening around here too.
All right. Well, follow me.
Does it have anything to do with fish?
Fish. And she'll kind of cant her head as the group of you move into this alleyway, and then we're going to change the scene. We see something completely different here. Arlen. We don't see...
Here.
We don't see you here now. We see you before. In a time of reflection, a time of memory. You have drawn the Urail card, one of our new cards. With this card, it is a card of reflection and introspection. We get a flashback. So when we had last seen Arlen, you had taken a challenge with your cursed sword. And the sword accepted. And it transported you into another time and place. We are still not quite sure where you are right now. But as you are making your way to this place, you think about some time in your life. Tell me what we see. What are you thinking about as you recall a memory?
As darkness swirls around Arlen, and she feels her form shifting, and the air changes around her. New scents fill her nostrils. Even the taste of the air is different. She thinks back to what seems like a long time ago now. Laying in bed, her father sits next to her, telling her a bedtime story. He talks about, as he always did, the grand adventures him and his wife went on during their adventuring days. The story tonight just happened to be about a time that they were battling a Hydra. He spoke of casting spells and supporting his teammates and the valiantness and bravery that him and his party members showed that day. After the story, Arlen, as a young girl, excitedly talks about how she wants to be an adventurer, how she wants to go out and tell and create her own stories so that she has stories to tell her family when she's older, that the bards can tell to the taverns to entertain them through the nights. Stories that her parents can be proud of.
Okay. So as you are kind of reliving this memory of yours, can I get a wisdom saving throw from you?
Totally.
And you do have 4 nat 20s, by the way. Okay, a 12. Ooh. Okay. So you become intensely aware of this moment as you are kind of reliving your memory, that there is some kind of magic at work here. Something is trying to manipulate this memory of yours. You get the sense that there are invisible fingers trying to pull at the various strings that construct this image, trying to unravel them, trying to shift them into another experience entirely. But you are aware of this. You feel that it is trying to be subtle. It is almost imperceptible. But you catch it. And you hear a voice as you are slowly being pulled out of this memory and into another place. You recognize it's the voice of Charybdis, your blade. And it says, "The path to your growth and climb to power will require you to let go of certain things. Are you prepared for this?"
She thinks back on the memory again, letting it reach its natural conclusion. Her father getting stern, telling her she could not be an adventurer, telling her that it wasn't allowed, it would not be permitted, telling her that she was to live a life of comfort and that she never had to worry about the things in the dark. A smile crosses her face. I'm ready.
You have drawn the Fool card. So we have modified the Fool card a little bit now. You lose something, a memory, a sense, or a bond. What do you want to let go of in this moment?
Instead of losing it entirely, I have a counter offer.
Okay.
I would like the bond between her and her father to turn more hostile for her part.
Okay. Yeah, you feel we see this visage of you standing before your father and how you remember him, the image of him in your mind. You see it almost glitching, turning a little red, and you feel your heart slowly closing as you are perceiving this person. And then it shifts, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a realm of pure darkness. You see yourself. Did you go to bed? Yes, you wore your armor, I believe. So you see yourself standing in this void. There's nothing for miles all around you. It feels like an empty world. And the only spot of color here is the red blade of Charybdis in your hand. Your skin, your armor, your entire being has been desaturated, and all you see are the lines on your arm, glowing brilliantly, and this blade. Are you ready for your next test?
I've been ready. Just bring it to me.
Okay. You see before you, the shadows begin to pull together. It's almost as if darkness somehow grows even darker, more concentrated, and it begins to swirl into a humanoid shape. And before you, a demon begins to form. I'm gonna need you to roll me initiative. Make sure you select your token.
I have advantage, so 17.
Okay. All right. It rolled a 21. So you see this shape forming in front of you, and all of a sudden it whooshes forward, and you see that the void around you begins to shift, almost as if bound to this creature. And as it pulls towards you, you feel the ground beginning to move underneath you, and you stumble just a little bit, and it begins to strike. It'll attack you. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 will miss.
Okay. So you see the shadows try to claw at you, but you manage to dive out of the way here. For the sake of expediency, since this is like kind of like a duel here, we're gonna go ahead and like double damage. So what do you do in response?
It's attacking with its claws, right?
Yeah, so it is, you'd see that it is vaguely humanoid in shape. It has arms, and it attacks you with something that might be kind of like claws.
Okay, so as its arm kind of flings past Arlen, and she's just able to dodge out of the way, she reaches forward, grabs its arm as it's still kind of retracting back towards it, and casts Inflict Wounds. And I would like to use a nat 20.
Okay. So Emma will use a nat 20 here. Go ahead and roll 4 times damage here.
Okay. So that's 14
You can
times
just keep
4?
You can keep
Or-
clicking it if you want.
Okay. I'll just do
Okay.
so 14, 25, 37, 46.
Okay, yeah. So describe to me what this looks like as this surge of power just wells through you, and it will damage this creature very heavily, but it doesn't quite take it out. Also, Adam, thank you so much for the additional nat 20s to Emma.
Thanks, Alpha. I appreciate it. Yeah, Arlen reaches through the darkness, grabs on to this being of concentrated dark ether, and as the spell courses through her body, she's all in black and white except for those tattoos on her arm, which are glowing this kind of like pulsating red. And as this energy courses through her and erupts from her hands, all that is enraptured in this area is this bright red light exploding from her hand and kind of burning into this creature. And yeah.
Okay. So it will attack you in turn. Does a 16 hit you?
A 16 will hit me.
Okay. So as you kind of, it howls this unearthly sound here. It seems to ring infinitely all around you, ringing like a bell, and it slaps down across your face with one of these claws as you rack its entire form with this immense pain. And the claws don't rip flesh, but you feel the hand pass through the meat and bone of your skull, and as it slides across your brain, you feel ice in your nerves, and you take 16 psychic damage here.
Okay. I think as this happens, I'm going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
And so it'll need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, it rolled a 10, so it
That's
fails.
gonna fail. So that will be 2d10 of fire damage.
Okay.
So 13 points of fire damage.
Okay. So take 26 damage here. So tell me how this destroys the creature.
I think as its hand passes through Arlen's head and kind of erupts from the other side, it doesn't just kind of fill Arlen with pain. As you see its arm kind of passing through, you see these streaks of red energy, and suddenly they just kind of like combust in the air, almost as if Arlen's being is almost so purely this curse energy now that whenever you draw anything from her, some of this cursed energy comes with it. So the cursed energy explodes in the air so brightly in this red kind of color, brightening up this entire area, and when the light fades, this creature is just gone.
Yeah, and as the creature is destroyed, you hear a gentle whoosh of sound. It's almost as if in a tunnel. And slowly, you realize that you've been standing here in your room. You open your eyes, and you smell the salty air of Saltmarsh. You hear slowly the sounds of the market beginning to come to your ears. You wriggle your toes and your fingers. You move your shoulders. You realize that you've been standing in the same spot for maybe about 8 hours, just standing here in the middle of your room.
Arlen is breathing heavily, her eyes darting around the room, almost expecting some other sort of danger to fly out at her. But as she hears the crowd speaking outside and the noise of carts, her breath softens. She looks towards her arm at the tattoos.
You realize that one fewer remain. You now have 5 rings instead of 6.
Good.
And as you perceive it and you exhale, you find that you are a little stronger. You have drawn the comet card and you just completed that encounter, baby. You instantly level up.
Gonna put that in Warlock.
Oh no. All right. Yeah, so you find your senses return to you. what would you like to do? You can hear that there are people moving around in the lobby outside.
What time of day is it?
It's early morning, but probably like 10. Not super early.
She's going to lay down
Okay.
and sleep.
Okay. So we'll say that, Garen, you have by now completely finished all of your preparations. You have picked through your poisoner's kit and you've organized everything and you feel pretty satisfied with how everything is laid out. Is there something particular you wanted to do with it in a mechanical sense?
Oh, so I don't think we ever set down what poisons he had.
Okay.
And we can worry about that in detail later.
Okay.
But so I guess nothing mechanically then.
Okay.
So yeah, I think he would probably head on out and see what else is going on with the rest of the party.
All right. Yeah. So you step out and you see that Quick is there, and Finn. What would you like to be doing?
Well, I think Finn still would probably like to. I guess as Garen kind of comes out to investigate, it'd probably be the same time that Finn will open the door from his room and ask the question he asked before, which was, is everyone okay? What's going on?
Mm-hmm. And so, Garen, you perceive Quick and Finn having this conversation. Quick turns their head and shrugs a shoulder. You know that Quick isn't one to speak. You have never heard Quick say a word. And they just close their book and stand up, looking as if waiting for something. Finn, you see that Bim has crawled out from your room and is hovering between your legs, looking deliberately at Arlen's door.
And he'll look down and look over at Arlen's door and be like, did you hear anything or any disturbance in Arlen's room? Bim seems very, very worried and disturbed about Arlen's room.
You see Quick slowly turn their head,
No?
indicating
Okay.
no.
Yeah, no? Okay. And then he'll look over at Garen. Did you hear anything?
No, I didn't.
Okay. I don't think she'd be too mad if we... It's 10 o'clock, right? She's probably been sleeping this whole time. So...
Yeah.
Should we knock on her door? Like, I don't...
Garen
She usually
would,
doesn't... Alright. And then...
Garen would walk over and knock on the door.
Okay. Arlen, the second you lay down and start to get comfortable, you just hear bang, 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 bang.
What is it?
Finn's pseudo dragon is concerned about you, I think. Is everything okay?
Finn has a what?
Actually, yeah. Does Garen know about Finn's pseudo dragon?
I mean, he does now. It's in between my legs.
True. I'll go with he either took it as a matter of course or knew ahead of time.
I don't think
Yeah.
that Finn would have kept it a secret.
No,
Yeah.
especially since it's right there and he's talking like, "Hey, my buddy here is." Well, you were right there with or was that KayBee? No, it was KayBee and Pole. Never mind. But yeah, I would have.
There's
said
a
at some
pseudo
point.
dragon. It looks
Yeah.
friendly.
It's friendly.
And it's adorable.
It's super cute. It's very cat-like.
All right, well. Yeah, anyway. Continue on. Yeah, so
Yes.
is everything okay in there?
Yeah, everything's fine. I'm just let me rest.
Okay. She says she's fine.
It is. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
It is at that time that you hear someone slowly coming up the steps. You can hear the clicking of Hannah Wrist's boots. And her head swings around the corner, and she is holding a piece of paper and kind of waggling it in the air. And she says to the group of you that are in the lobby, "A message has arrived for you from the council."
Oh,
Yes, hand it over then, please.
She hands it to you. You see that it has the name of who is the main talker? I think it was Finn, right? I think it was
Yeah.
Finn.
yeah.
That's when I did
so
the
you
talk.
see-
It'd be either me or Arlen. But so considering Arlen's out, we'll just say it's mine.
So it will have Finn and Arlen's names on it. You will see that it is written in a very plain and very austere handwriting. It is very legible,
Mhm.
and it almost seems to have no character to it. It's like the perfect font for like a book.
Oh. What
Oh,
is it?
it's
Is it-
got
what-
your
do-
name on it.
Does it? Oh.
Yeah.
It
Garen
also
would
got
hand it over.
Arlen. It's also got Arlen's name on it.
Well,
Well,
that-
she didn't want to be disturbed, did she? You said
No. So it would be okay if you opened it, but
it
would
does
be
have my
impolite.
name on it too, so that would also indicate I can open it.
Yeah, so it would be
Um,
impolite for me to open it.
No, that's fair. All right, fine. And then he'll kind of like look around. Like, do you have a letter opener?
Garen pulls out a dagger.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Garen.
You open
And
it, no problem. As you do, you see that Hannah's kind of like careening, kind of being a little nosy. And she's like, what does it say? And Finn, as you read it, you see that it mentions that the Saltmarsh Council would like to invite your party to come for an appointment. That they want to discuss a recent development and would like to contract you to deal with something. It is very vague on the details. Go ahead and roll me an insight check. Okay, wow, nice. Nat 20.
Nice.
Okay, so you're able to read between the lines here. As you are reading this, you definitely get the sense that the way that everything is worded, they're trying to say, hey, something really important is about to happen, but we want to keep it on the down low. We really need your help.
I guess in so many words, Finn will express this because I know that she's being a little nosy, but also he doesn't really want to say too much.
So you can
Okay.
definitely like kind of hold back something if you want, and
Yeah.
but she is definitely like, what is it?
It seems as though they're requesting us for something that they want us to take care of as a party. I don't know if you necessarily would want to get your hands dirty in something like this. I don't know exactly what it is, but it sounds like it's more than just show up for a meeting and we want to congratulate you for things, if you catch my drift.
Right. So my name isn't on it then.
No, I think when it says party, but I believe when it means party, it means the venturing party.
Oh. Well, you will keep me in the loop, won't you, when you get back?
Oh, of course. I'll let you know exactly what's happened, but I know you have a business to run here, and this might require leaving or going about doing other things. So,
Well, all right.
Speaking of getting dirty, I'm still washing out the stench from our last adventure.
There is a bath if you'd like to use one. She gestures to the bath on this floor.
Thank you. I made use of it last night.
Ah, yes. Well, you see her blush, and she says, well, breakfast is ready whenever you'd like it. And she begins to
Thank you.
head down the stairs.
Thank you. And then once she's out of earshot,
when she's out of earshot, I'll inform everything to Garen.
yeah, Garen was gonna ask, "What aren't you telling me?"
So this is what you know. So it
And
seems to
Garen
be
would
Go
read
ahead.
it as Garen would be reading it as Finn's talking, and
yeah.
Come
So
to the
you
front.
will note that there is an appointment time at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Oh,
Today.
We gotta wait. What time is it? Garrett, do you?
It's about 11 now.
Oh, fuck, we're gonna have to wake up Holland.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll leave that to you, and I'll get.
oh God, damn it! All right, fine. Where's KayBee when you need him?
Right.
So as you
Yeah.
say that, the screen will shift, and so we see KayBee, Pole, and Ella kind of huddled down in an alleyway here. You see that she has opened up her satchel. She has put the shoe down in front of her on the floor, on the ground, and she has pulled out a number of different tools. KayBee, you would recognize that some of these are artificer tools, and some of them are a little more obscure. You don't quite recognize the origin of them. And she begins to literally disassemble your shoe in front of you. It is no longer a shoe. It is parts of a shoe.
I guess this is necessary.
Well, you wanted more information from it, did you not?
Yeah, I think so. This is really interesting. Paul, take a look at this.
I think your shoe's done for, mate.
That's okay. I know
You
how to,
wrecked it.
I can sew it back together.
Oh, all right.
I hope.
KayBee, you get an additional nat 20 from Maddie Man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Manny.
All right. Yeah, so as you're kind of looking over, she begins to perform a ritual that you don't quite understand. She begins to cast some magic, and you see particles of light just poof, poof. And as it all fades, you see that she has burned a number of different parts. She has taken the leather and cut it down into equal squares, and she holds up your soul. SOLE. And that is all that remains. She says, I can confirm without a shadow of a doubt that you are not cursed.
Oh,
She hands you the sole of your shoe.
I take the sole of my shoe.
I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
So you're only wearing one shoe now.
I'm excited though. I get this big stupid grin on my face.
And she looks very tired. As you're kind of looking at her, you see that her complexion has become a bit shallow and her eyes are kind of sunken.
Where are you staying? Do you need a place to stay?
I'm trying to make as much as I can. I am a bit strapped for coin, so honestly, I've been sneaking onto boats at night. There are quite a few number of boats here in the pier, more than I've seen before. So I've managed to find a few of the quieter ones to stow away at night.
Sales of left shoes aren't so good today.
So as we're talking, I just kind of keep looking down to Paul's left shoe.
Mhm.
Paul? Do you think you might be cursed? No, not for me. Maybe you're cursed. You should check.
What, she already checked?
She checked mine.
Yeah, but mine's only got one piece. You can't really, do what she did with yours and take it apart and, burn pieces of it.
I got some extra tools here. We can try.
I can try my best, but it will...
Forget it. I need my shoes.
All right,
Anyways,
all
I don't
right.
even know who you are. What's your name?
My name is Ella. I am a curse hunter.
A curse hunter.
Yes.
So, like someone who goes around chasing animals and killing them, except you do it with curses.
Well, I can't necessarily neutralize them, but I can identify them.
Oh, so you're like a cursed spotter then.
You see her just blush and look incredibly embarrassed. And she begins to put her tools away a bit forcibly. And she says, I've got a very busy day. I need to move on and investigate someone else.
Well, actually, here.
And I bring out some coins. Give her a small handful of coins, maybe about 10 gold pieces.
Hopefully this helps. I really do want to find out if somebody is cursed in my group.
She looks at the coins as you offer them, and she kind of pulls back a bit, like naturally. She doesn't seem to realize that she's doing it, and she says, I don't need your help. It's fine. I can manage on my own. Thank you.
Well, I really would like to find out about my friends, though. You know, because they're very dear to me.
Well, I can come with you if you like.
Paul's gonna just put his hand on KB's shoulder. Hold it just a second. I'm gonna kind of pull him aside for a little bit.
Yeah, and she just kind of sits down, and you see this little tiny creature just crawl up her cloak, and just this little imp head is just poking out under her chin, watching the two of you as you move off to the side.
What do you think?
KB, we have these all over Amundfoot. She's a charlatan. She's just trying to get your money. She's pretending to refuse it right now, but she's just getting in there. She's gonna try and, she'll probably try and extort money out of all of us, saying we're cursed or something like that. And she can't even cure them. So what's the point?
Well, what is money good for, anyways? It's used for helping other people. You know.
I guess.
I think
you
about
still help the people who are stealing your shoes first. I don't think so.
Well, there's maybe a better way to do it. But you know, even if you steal something, as long as you pay people back in the end, it's okay.
Yeah, I guess that's right. I mean, you should probably pay them back more because they had to go without the shoe for a while.
But just think, if somebody's cursed, we'd want to know.
I mean, it's true, but I don't know. She didn't really tell us anything. All she did was waste our morning. We could have been done something useful.
Yeah, you're a really smart guy. I'm glad you're with me. I probably would have made a bad decision.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't help her. I mean, if you know her, right? So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I mean, my first impression is not great. And she's got an imp, you know. So, she's a warlock, and I mean, so am I. But I'm not in the power of fiends or anything like that. I mean,
That
I
little guy
worry
is
about
cute,
fiends.
though. He's really cute.
You know, I thought he was cute, but then up close, he's kind of a creepy little fella. And, you know, actually, now forget it, I won't say anything. Do what you will. Sorry, I'll go back and sort of walk towards Ella again.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's been nice meeting you, Ella. Good luck with your curse spotting.
Thank you.
Well, why is it that you think somebody in one of my friends is cursed?
I know one of your friends is cursed.
Well, you don't know which one then, right?
No, Glob, and they kind of gesture to the imp. Glob literally took one of your shoes, and I investigated, and I determined that your friend is cursed.
I'm cursed.
No, and she begins to describe Finn's previous shoe.
Yes. Now,
He
out of
doesn't have that
character-
shoe anymore, though, right? So I
out
don't.
of character, he had an engagement with her, right? She knows who it is.
I don't think so.
No.
No, she doesn't know.
I think
Yeah.
Vin chased her, but
Yeah.
Arlen's the only one that caught her.
Yeah.
Garen did. speak with
Garen
her
bumped into
also.
her. and
Karen,
speaked
like,
into her,
yeah, Garen did later.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what do we do with
Yeah,
what
didn't-
do we do with my friend Finn if he's cursed?
Well,
Finn.
Yeah, it was Finn. She took Finn's shoe before.
And he's the one that's cursed. I thought it would have been her.
I thought Ella didn't know.
as you say this, Garen, you spot KayBee and Pole kind of hovering near the entrance of an alleyway, and they seem to be talking to someone in the alleyway. And as you're kind of walking up towards them, You can't quite see Ella yet. You see KayBee and Pole first.
Hey, there you two are. We need to go.
All
are
right.
you
Well,
talking
if you
to?
got your shoes on, you can see if you're cursed.
Oh, Ella.
Hello.
Have you made any headway with Finn's curse?
No. I have been trying to see if perhaps it is affecting more than just Finn. And she looks a bit embarrassed as she looks at Pole. Pole! Tell me when to stop, Matihi. Thank you so much for the card to Endicarus.
Oh, thank you. And stop.
Okay. Cool. Continue.
Ella, you need Finn's other shoe too?
No, I've determined that he is, yes, cursed. I don't need his shoe.
What are we gonna do about this, Garen?
I don't know. And also Ella told me do not tell Finn.
Yes, it
She's
is
concerned it could be
imperative that we do not tell Finn. Finn? That's his name? Yes.
Finn, yes.
Okay.
I thought I told you that last time we met.
Why not? If he's cursed, shouldn't he know about it?
She said it could be dangerous if he knows on
Ah.
some curses.
All right.
Now I feel so bad.
That sounds real.
She looks a bit at a loss here and she says, well, if you don't need me, then let me go.
Right.
What's
hold on.
No one's
next?
holding you.
I do want to help you. And I do also have some questions for you on other things.
All right.
But right now we have another engagement that we need to get to.
Well, I don't have plans on leaving Saltmarsh, so you'll
Okay.
find me around.
Is there a place we can meet? Or we're at the Sleeping Lion, correct?
You are at the Snapping Line.
Snapping Lion.
She kind of looks around and she says, well, I can come into the Snapping Line if that's where you're staying. I'll come by for
Yes.
dinner, perhaps.
Okay.
All right.
We'll talk then.
Okay. And as she's kind of moving out of the alleyway, you see her kind of bundling up her cloak, holding the imp close to her chest, and she just kind of looks at Pole as she slides away.
Yeah, Garen would give her room to go past him without issue.
And she's gone.
Once she's out of earshot, the council wants to speak with us. We have an appointment at 1. Finn and I think it sounds big, but quiet.
Appointment.
Come on. Yes.
Is it fancy? Do we have to dress up?
No.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like that kind of an engagement, but we do need to get moving. KayBee, where's your boot?
Is it okay if I go with just one boot? You know what? I'll just take the other one off. We're born that way, anyways.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, fine. Let's go.
All right. So do you want to head back to the Snapping Line or do you want to go towards the council hall?
Well, what time is it right now?
It is about 12. So you could do like one quick thing.
Yeah, and
also, if it matters, they're literally right next to each other.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, we'll head back to the Snapping Lion to gather up Finn and Arlen.
Okay. So Finn, you are in the lobby with Quick, and the two of you are standing in front of Arlen's door. You see Quick has their arms crossed over their chest, and they're kind of looking at you, looking at the door, looking at you.
Second in command sucks, and he'll like go to the door and Arlen, I hate to disturb you, but the council wants to meet with us in like an hour. I got a fancy note, and it's got your name on it too.
Arlen sits up and just kind of rests her head in her hand. What do they want to talk about?
There's some big important business. They're being vague, but it sounds like it's going to be something they'd rather tell us in person than per telegram, in case the telegram got into the wrong hands.
You hear footsteps on the other side of the door, and then it opens, and a very like sleepy-looking Arlen is on the other side. Let me see.
Hands over the note.
Okay.
I take a look at it and reading through. I'm like, all right. Is Hannah going to be there?
No, it made it clear that they wanted us adventurers, not quite Hannah there. If you know, like, it sounds like we're gonna be going and doing things, and I don't think Hannah's the adventuring type, to be honest.
It just says the party, right?
It says the party.
She's our sponsor.
I could go with that, yes.
We're trying to get her in the council. It'll be better
Yes.
for her to be there.
So you want us to bring her along?
Yes. Unless she has something better to do.
Oh, well, I told her that maybe they just wanted us adventuring, but yeah, I suppose I could. I guess we can ask her again.
Yes. All right. You go do that. I'll get ready.
Okay. And then I guess he'll go find Hannah.
Okay, yeah, you head downstairs and you find that Hannah is laying out some food for some people. You see that the snapping line is a bit on the quiet side compared to the wicker goat. The wicker goat is just always full of people, but you see that here there's only about 2 people that are currently having early lunch. And as you come down, she immediately heads over to you and she's wiping her hands on her apron and she says, "Yes, what can I do for you?"
I was talking with Arland about the whole note because both our names were on it.
Mm-hmm.
She's under the impression that maybe because of all of us, she believes that all of us as a party does actually include you as well. I was more afraid
Oh.
it was some kind of going off and doing an adventure thing, but she says that since you're sort of like a sponsor to us or sort of a big important member of our group,
Yes?
that you should join us.
Oh, you see her face just lighting up and she says, "Oh, yes, of course. When is it?"
We're gonna be leaving in I think about an hour or so. I'm gonna wait until Garen and them or Beck arrive. He went to go find KayBee and Paul, and I
Oh.
think soon after that we're going to. And Arlen's just waking up, so it's gonna be a little bit of time, but we don't have a lot of time between now and when we need to be there.
Okay, very good. Yes. And you see her move over to the people that are sitting down. She leans down and she speaks very quietly to them. You can't quite hear it. You see that she is reaching into her gold pouch. She pulls out a small denomination and puts it on the counter, pats them on the back, and then moves over to the other person and does the same thing. And then she begins to head towards the front and she flips the sign and it says closed.
Okay.
All right. So, Arlen, what are you doing to get ready?
I close the door and then sit on my bed and lay Charybdis in my lap.
Okay. As you do, you feel that the blade is still. It almost feels somehow full, as if it were a container or a vessel, and it has been replenished. It feels a little heavier now as you're setting it down, but it is not responsive. It is quiet. It is sleeping and dormant. As you're perceiving it, you find that you are much stronger than you were the night before. And you remember that moment where you had that advantage, that sense of being able to see beyond the veil. You saw those invisible hands trying to manipulate something. Something is trying to take control of the narrative. And you find yourself, you have an opportunity here. There's power in front of you and it is sleeping. It is not watching you right now. You have drawn the moon card. What are you wishing for right now?
I think I think she's been a bit antsy. Kind of like when you, as an adult, are kind of teaching a kid something, and eventually they're getting the hang of it, you're getting tired, and the kid wants to like keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arlen is in a very similar position to that right now, where Charybdis is tired. It's resting, it's doing whatever, but she still wants more. She wants more opportunity. She wants more power. She still wants all of these things. And she's a bit frustrated with Charybdis that it's resting. And that it seems content in this moment when she's not.
Okay. So how do you manifest your frustration? How do you physically respond to this frustration?
Charybdis.
There's no reply.
I like knock on it a little bit.
There's no reply.
Charybdis. I start hitting Charybdis against things.
Okay. You pick up Charybdis and you start slamming it against things. And it still does not reply as you slap it against the wall. You bring it down over the headboard. You drive it into the stone table in your room. And you hear a crack. The blade, as you inspect it, has a divot beginning to form. It seems to have suffered some damage from your blow. You're stronger than this item. A part of it falls off, and as it does, it turns into ash and hits the ground. It is no longer a perfect blade.
She looks at it with disappointment. She's followed this thing for quite some time now and saw it as this powerful entity, but now it's showing its weakness. I think maybe she starts hearing like Finn downstairs or something, and frustrated, she just kind of like, I think I can dissipate it. Yeah, with Pact of the Blade, I can kind of dismiss the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I think I dismiss it into the ether.
As this frustration kind of mounts and you're ready to dismiss it, you hear another voice drawn to you by this surge of power, this ready to cast it aside. And it speaks to you, and you can tell this is a completely different entity. And it says, "Perhaps you would like to try your hand with another suitor. Arlen Ruvelath, you have drawn the attention of quite a few people. Would you like to try someone else?"
And who are you exactly?
I cannot give you my true name, of course, but I can assure you that I can give you what you want.
I think I look down at the chipped Charybdis.
As you do, you see that something begins to form right before you. You see a puff of red smoke beginning to whirl into a shape. And you see a club. It is kind of crude in shape. You see that it is this blood red color, and it seems to be made out of wood, but what's peculiar about it is that as it comes down to the handle, there's this black leather that's wrapped around where you would grip it. And at the very foot of it is a paw. It looks like a tiger paw.
At the foot of the handle?
Yeah. So like under where your hand would be.
Is this your doing?
It is. Perhaps you would like to play with another toy for a little while.
If your power is disappointing and I can't trust in it, I'll find a way to kill you. And I'll grab it.
Okay. You have drawn the key card. You can add a club +2 to your inventory.
Ooh.
All right. So as you pick it up, you can hear that people are beginning to gather together. Finn, you are there with Quick, and you see that KayBee, Garen, and Pole arrive. And Arlen, you can hear the whole party outside.
All right. She'll head outside.
Okay. Arlen emerges.
There she is. All right. Good. Okay. I think it's about, and looks at time.
Yes.
We don't have much time. I think we need to go. We got everybody here.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Cool. Let's go ahead and head out.
All right.
Okay. So the group of you make your way down out of the snapping line. You see that by the time you're ready to depart, that Hannah has closed down the shop, must have kicked out the two people that were having breakfast, and she locks the door behind you. She joins you as the group of you make your way into the council hall here in Saltmarsh. And that is where we're going to take our break. So we will be back in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Thank you so much for all of the generosity. We have some really cool stuff going on here. We're going to just grab some water, do a little stretch, grab some snacks. We invite you to do the same, and we will be back here very shortly. Thank you so much. All right, so as the group is beginning to... So you see Hannah beginning to lock up the snapping line here. And she turns to the group and she begins to ask, like, all right, so how do we want to do this? Is there anything that you want me to say, don't want me to say? And so, like, we'll kind of montage a little bit of how that conversation goes. Pole, you don't really know Hannah as well as the others, so perhaps you find yourself either not as invested in the conversation or you don't really have much to contribute. So you kind of like naturally lean away from the conversation that's going on, and everyone else kind of fades into the background here. And you're kind of looking at the market around you, and you can see that there are people moving throughout the thoroughfare. Someone begins to slowly walk up towards you. You see this man, he is bowed over, he is wearing a very threadbare cloak. It's very, very thin, it has patches and holes in it. And he looks up at you with a keen eye, and he says, "Hello there. You have a bit of a shine to you. There's something special about you." They kind of lift up their walking stick and they're shaking it at you.
Oh, thanks, sir. That's very kind of you to say.
Yeah, I feel my spirit being called to you. I have something that I would like to perhaps offer you, if you would like to listen.
Oh, well, I've always got time for the voice of experience, sir.
Well, I serve a god of chance. Perhaps you would like to play a game.
What kind of a game?
Well, please hold this. And he extends his walking stick out towards you.
All right.
He reaches into his belt pouches. He crosses his arms over his chest, and he pulls out his fists, and they're closed around something. He says, I would like you to choose one, but one will provide you comfort. One will provide you riches. You will only be able to choose one, and the absence of the other may plague you for some time.
Well, that's a hard choice then.
You
I
can
mean-
either make the decision, or you can leave it up to chance.
Well, if your god's the god of chance, then I best go with chance, I expect. Anyways, I don't know any better what's one better than the other.
Would you like to pick left or right?
Well, I'll pick left.
Okay. You see him open his right hand, and in it is this immense ruby. You see it shining, it catches the sunlight, and it glistens. And he closes his hand, and he puts it away. He lifts up his left hand. He opens it up, and there's nothing. He closes his hand, and he asks for the stick back with an outstretched palm.
All right, here you go, buddy.
May Ralishaz smile upon you. And he begins
Ralishaz.
to waddle away.
Oh, great.
So, you throw away your gem card, which is 1,000 gold worth of riches. That is gone now, but something else will happen instead. So, how what do we see Paul reacting? How was he reacting here as you see this man, this very clearly like homeless vagrant slowly wandering away?
Well, he knows who Ralishaz is, and so he's just like,
So for our viewers who don't know, could you explain a little bit of what Paul might know and what you know of Ralishaz?
well, he's a god of bad luck, basically, and it's sort of like it's a little bit on the nasty side. It's like someone that you might pray for someone else to have bad luck to, and he's not very into that, and he's wondering if somebody sent this guy to him to mess him up, and especially after the little altercation with the curse finder earlier today, he's getting a little suspicious.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check as you look around.
All right.
Wow, that's a nat 20. You scan the crowd with absolute focus. There is nobody else looking at you. No one cares about you in this crowd. You can't find that individual anymore. He has disappeared. And you are absolutely confident and certain that if he was sent to you by somebody, that person is not around.
Huh. All right. Well, I don't know. I hope I haven't been cursed with bad luck now. But I'll go and see what my friends are up to, if they're having any better luck at the meeting with the nobles.
Okay, sounds very good. Nisa, thank you so much for the card draw for Emma. Please tell me when to stop.
You can stop. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, cool.
Love that laugh.
All
Great
right.
laugh. Yeah.
Neat. Okay. So the group of you kind of gather around, and Hannah says, I'll let you lead. I will just be present in case they need
Yes.
me. I'll just support you. I'll follow your lead. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. I think it'd be best for you just to might help you just being there. You know what I mean? Like not saying anything, but just being there. Maybe they'll associate more and more with everything. But yeah, we'll do the majority of the talking.
Very good. Well, after you then.
And Finn will go ahead and go in.
Okay. So as you open the doors to the council hall, you find that all of the council members are already there. They are sitting and waiting for you. As you enter, you see Anders, this fresh-faced young man. He stands up enthusiastically and he begins to pull the chairs from the table and says, "Friends, welcome, welcome. Please, sit. I am so glad that you can join us."
Yes. Thank you for inviting us. As he'll sort of he'll put his seat right actually next to Anders.
Okay. And he gestures to the rest of you. Says, "Please, make yourselves comfortable. Can I get you anything to drink?"
No. Arlen will sit down.
Okay. You see that Manistrad Copperlocks, the dwarven leader of the mining guild, looks kind of impatient. Her arms are crossed over her chest as she's leaning back in her chair. She rubs some slit off of her face. Sitting next to her is Eleander Fireborn, the captain of the guard, and he gives a very, very deliberate and appreciative nod to the group of you as you enter in. You see Gellin Primewater is not his normal, charming, charismatic self. He is both hands on his head, obviously nursing a hangover, leaning against the table and groaning quietly. And then you see Ida Oland, the de facto leader of the council here, just kind of gives a curt nod to the group of you and says, "Yes, I sent out the summons. It is very good that you were able to join us."
Garen very noisily drags the chair across the floor and then drags it back as he sits down.
You hear Gellin go, "Oh, my heavens, please do not do that. Oh. Anders, can you get me some wine? I need some wine." KayBee, what are you doing?
I don't know that I'm doing anything specific. I'm probably paying attention for once. I think something important is going to happen. So I'm just sitting looking at everybody.
Okay.
I'm excited. Something important is going to happen.
Yes. So we see the screen fade to black and some text scrawls into place and it says, "Chapter 3, Danger at Dunwater."
Wow.
Wow. And then as it focuses back onto the council hall here, you see Ida Oland stand up and she says to the group of you, "We have had some information given to us by an individual named Oceanus. I believe that he was with you when you arrived back in Saltmarsh."
Yes, the name sounds familiar.
Yes, you would remember Oceanus is the sea elf that you freed from the belly of the ship.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we were given information that there is a budding colony of lizard folk about 10 miles outside of Saltmarsh.
Mm-hmm.
We don't necessarily have the details of why they are there, what they are doing, but we are curious. And the people are, to be quite blunt, a bit nervous. And then Eleander Fireborn sits up a little straighter and he speaks and says, "We do not anticipate that there will be hostile action from them. But they have also not reached out to negotiate or communicate with us. So, We think that this will require some tact. Perhaps a bit of reconnaissance.
Hmm.
We would like to hire you to go investigate what is going on in the marsh. Do not engage with them. Do not, by any means, show any hostile action towards them.
Oh, yes.
Gather what information you can, bring it to us, and we will pay you 700 gold.
Wow. All right. So when you say don't engage, don't try any conversation, no talking, just like hide in the bushes and write in a journal? Like, what do you want us to do? I want to make sure I got clear in this.
Ida Oland says, well, you must do what you must. If they wish to engage with you, if you find that you are unable to remain unnoticed,
Okay.
then perhaps use whatever you deem necessary. We would want to ensure that diplomatic relations are as gentle as they can be. So, if perhaps running away might incur something hostile, then perhaps don't run away. We have total faith in you that you will be able to be a judge of what to do in the moment.
Yes, of course. But I just wanted to make sure because there might be a little bit of a lax in judgment on one of our parts, since we might be caught, or we might have to talk to them, and I just want to make sure that wasn't going to screw anything up. So, as long as I know that we can talk to them if need be, then we're good.
Yes. As long as we remain outside of potential war with these people, then by all means, do what is necessary.
Sounds good. And then he'll look at the rest of the party and be like, does anybody else... everyone else good with this? I don't want to just, be the whole... just speak for everybody.
I think it's great.
Scouting is what I do.
What else do we know about them? I mean...
Well, we talked to him on the ship.
Maybe you've talked to them, that kind of people before, but I mean, this group,
yeah,
we're going. I mean, what were they seen doing before? I mean, you know where they're at.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of strange that they've been kind of camping out this close to Saltmarsh before, but yeah, no, it's it'd be interesting.
I think so. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yep.
KayBee, I need a deception check from you.
I use a nat 20.
Okay. Okay, very good. All right. So that is one nat 20 from KayBee. So as you kind of have this little bit of stumble, I think everyone just kind of starts talking at the same time. You see Galen Primewater doesn't even look up at all. He is not listening to anything that is being said right now. You see Ida Oland and Eleander Fireborn are watching the group of you. Their eyes flick to KayBee, to Pole, but you can't really get the sense of whether they heard you, but they don't say anything about it. For Manistrad, her eyes are just kind of roaming around, and she keeps looking at the door. You can tell that she doesn't want to be here. And Anders is excitedly, like a puppy, looking at each person as they talk, but doesn't say anything, really. And then Ida Oland says, well, the reason it is 700 gold is because this is a very, very delicate matter.
Yes.
Be careful.
And with such a high price tag, I wanted to make sure that I was doing things the way you would want them to be done.
Yes.
I want you to know that we appreciate you not only having the faith in us, but if you're going to spend as much coin as you are, we want to make sure that we can be as good as you want us to be.
Very good. See, I said that they would be the perfect candidates for this. Eleander just goes,
All right. Well,
he produces a map, and he shows you that there is a scribble on it, and says, this is the direction and location that Oceanus was able to provide for us. We believe that the lizard folk encampment should be here. Stabs his finger right on the X.
Okay.
Is there a map?
Yeah. Maybe take
Yeah, he gives you the map. And I'll give you the X on the map a different time. But you get a map.
Okay.
It's 10 miles outside of Saltmarsh.
Oh, so we're gonna be gone a time.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are leaving, and you are heading into the marsh.
All right. Well,
Right now is when Garen remembers the owl bear egg.
Oh, hey, that's not in the quest ledger.
yeah. We'll take care of this, and of course, as with the last time, we'll keep what we find in the marsh. But while we're gone, I'm not entirely sure. Hannah,
Yes.
do you know anything about the council's provisions for registering a ship and paying the taxes on it?
Oh, absolutely. I have a number of ships here.
Perfect. Could you, while we're away, handle getting our ship registered, and just I can give you money to pay the taxes, but also, well, we're gonna be gone for a while, right? And I kind of look towards everybody else. If someone would like to commission the use of our ship to go out further in the seas to fish, then by all means speak to Hannah about setting that up. I trust her to do so.
You see Hannah just visibly beaming. Just fills up with pride. You see her face lighting up. She looks a little smug as she looks at the council. That's right. I have the rights for this ship. Another boat. Hannah's another boat. I mean, she's not like that. But that's like inside her brain right now.
Yeah, the ship is called the Sea Lily. The Sea Lily.
Yes. We will discuss all the minutia of it. Of course I can do this for you. She hair flips. No, her hair is in a bun. She can't hair flip. She
Thank you.
smooths her hair. Of course, anything for my friends.
All right, well, and Arlen will grab the map if there's nothing else.
Good luck.
And Arlen will stand up and start to leave.
As you leave, Ida Olin stands up as well, and she says, "In case it bears need to say out loud, perhaps keep this mission to yourselves. We do not want to rouse panic with the people. Those that already know are suspicious, and perhaps they should be kept as tame as they can."
We understand.
Good.
Discretion is in our nature.
And Garen gives a glance to Pull as he says, "We understand."
Mm-hmm.
Hannah opens the door.
All right.
As we're walking out, I tug on Arlen's sleeve.
You know, I was listening to Finn talking. A lot of his words are really wise. He was very articulate. I have to congratulate you. You're a great mentor.
Thank you. He did pretty well. There'll be a few notes for him later, but that's
I'm
fine.
live right now. What's up?
You'll get there too one day, KayBee.
I hope so.
And then as they leave, Garen's going to be like, "I need to stop by the Druid's Grove to check on the owl bear."
All right, that's fine.
Pull, Why don't you join me?
An owl bear? What's that?
Perhaps the egg is hatched and I can show you.
Oh, egg. All right.
I'll speak to Hannah about the taxes and everything that we need to go over while you're doing that.
Sounds good.
All right. So the group begins to split up. Gar- go ahead.
Before we leave though, Finn wanted to go over to Anders, and he wanted to be like, do you have a moment for us in the future? I wanted to talk to you about any information you might have been given from your butler, I believe he is.
Oh, yes. For the contract.
Yes.
Yes. Of course. Garen told me all about it.
Good.
Would you like the payment sent to? I believe you're staying at the Wicker Goat.
Yeah. No. We're now at the Snapping Lion for the moment.
Yes, of course. I can have it sent directly to you. Thank you so much for looking into it.
No problem. I just want to make sure that you got the. We never heard back about you getting the info, so I wanted to make sure that you got the info.
Yes.
So.
He kind of like adjusts his very large hat on his head, and he says, yes, I do apologize. That was my fault. I have been engaged in quite many affairs recently, and I found that my attention has been quite divided. I'm actually, and he kind of like pulls you off to the side. I'm actually a little concerned about this whole lizard folk affair. I've been hearing some strange things about these people. I've heard that they eat humans.
Lizard. Okay. No, hold on.
I don't know, but
okay. I'm gonna level with you, Anders.
Yes.
I have conversated before with a few lizard folk. I don't know if it's the same ones we're gonna meet or not, but in my time, I've bumped into a few. They didn't seem very much like eating me when I talked to them. So
right.
I wouldn't worry yourself over that, okay?
all right. I trust you implicitly. I'm only going off of hearsay anyway.
Oh, I understand that. But from personal one-on-one experience with them, I've never once felt like I was going to be eaten by them.
Oh, okay, good.
So.
Good. Yes. I was just concerned for your safety. But if that's the case, then...
No.
Very
but
good.
I also don't want you to worry about your safety or everyone in the town's safety, because if everyone thinks they're going to go around eating people, it's sort of, that would scare me a little bit too.
I will dissuade any such slander.
All right, I very much appreciate it. And thank you again for updating me on the situation.
Yes. And he claps you on the shoulders, and he seems very, very happy. Thank you so much. I appreciate your companionship.
I appreciate you too, Anders.
Please be safe.
I will try my best, thank you. And then he'll walk off with the rest of the group.
And like as you're leaving, like Anders in the background is just like waving bye to you guys, and then the doors close. All right, and people are gonna split up here. We have Garen and Pole going to the Grove. We have Arlen going to sit down with Hannah to do taxes. KayBee, where do you want to go?
I'm gonna go quickly buy some shoes. Nothing elaborate. Just go find some good solid work boots.
Okay.
Yep, and that's probably it.
Okay, Finn, what are you going to do?
I guess maybe he'll follow Garen and Cole.
Okay. Very good. All right. We'll start with KayBee. KayBee, as you're wandering through the market, you find that there is a cobbler here. As you're looking through the various stores, you find that there is, in fact, a leathery. The cobbler is actually closed. There is a... Ooh, hold on, wrong map. Come here. Number 11.
Friend and I are writing poke.
Oh, okay. So as you're like driving your mechanical deer through the streets here, people are like, "Oh heavens, what is that? I've never seen that before.
Hi.
Oh, can I touch it?" And
Oh,
just
yeah. Touch his nose.
people are touching it as you're making a bit of a spectacle here. But you actually you find that as you make your way across Sharkfin Bridge, you head over to number 11 here. You see there's a sign called Kester's Leather Goods. And you get the smell of chemical and this sort of musty scent of hides being worked. And you see that there is an individual standing in front of the shop currently working one of these hides. The tannery seems to be pretty modest, but you see that there are a number of interesting hides that must be very strange or unique creatures, some of which you can't really identify just by looking at them.
Oh, wow. Excuse me, this looks really cool. You got a lot of interesting things here. I think I wanted to get some of that leather right there, and maybe some of this over here. Do you have any finished products?
I'll look and see if they have anything that's finished. I don't know if they
Yeah.
have any actual shoes.
So you can see that there's a store just beyond this workstation here. You see a halfling woman look up at you, and she has a weathered face. She has weathered hands. She cants her head and looks you up and down and says, "What is that?"
This is my friend Poke.
Oh, well, welcome. My name is Kiorna Kester.
Oh, nice to meet you, Kiorna Kester. And welcome aboard, Lord Gazumba.
Hello, welcome raiders! Hello. You are watching Secrets of Saltmarsh. This is our Greyhawk Patreon campaign. Oh my god, you're wearing the shirt. Oh,
I
that's
am wearing the
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you so
Gotta-
much for the raid. Welcome everyone.
You gotta support Jay. Jay is awesome.
Yes. Oh, 2 Wednesdays from now, I'll wear my J shirt.
I'll clean this so I can also wear it. Well,
Hello, happy holidays, everyone. Hope you're having a great time. Hope just please get comfortable. We are currently
Yes.
in Saltmarsh doing a few things before we head out towards the Dunwater River. So as you're kind of looking around, you see that she's currently working the hide of some kind of large creature, and the fur, it's actually quite unique. You see that there is something kind of spine-like with the fur. They're not actual fibers of that would be like hair. They're actually small spines. And she says to you, well, if there are things that you need crafted, they're all to be found inside. But I have a question for you. Are you a hunter?
I've been a hunter before, yeah. I've been around for a while.
I hook my fingers and my thumbs in my belt.
In my 350 years, I've traveled quite a bit, and I've done a little bit of everything.
Oh, I see. Well, she claps her hands together. I have a proposition for you. If you are to provide me hides and furs from interesting creatures, I will pay you quite a handsome fee in gold.
That sounds great. Yeah, you can maybe tell me what you're looking for. I'll keep my eyes open.
Oh, anything. I can make anything work. I will say, though, that wolves, they can be quite dangerous in this area, so do be careful. I would say don't go hunting for these creatures to salvage their furs. But if you just happen to come across them, or if they come across you, haha.
Yeah, I really don't like killing, but sometimes you have no choice.
Yes, I would not advise going around doing so with reckless abandon, but make most out of those that come across you, I say.
So what are you working on right there?
Oh, this, you see her running her hands across it. She says, "This is a fine beauty. I have no idea what it is. But this was given to me a week ago by a group of hunters that were rolling through the area. They said it was some kind of a cat. A feline creature, but I don't really know. And you see her like lift up, like there's like an appendage part that comes off, and it has like tentacly arms kind of coming off of it. I don't really know. But
So
they
is this
managed
something
to take
that
it down.
I would recognize with my myriad experiences and knowledge in book readings?
Go ahead and give me a nature check at flat.
13.
13. I'm gonna say that you think it might be a displacer beast, but you're not 100% sure.
I tell her as much.
Okay.
And I say,
Oh, that's kind of dangerous creature.
Yes, they said they found it on the edge of the Dreadwood.
Yeah, I've heard. I lived up north of the Dreadwood, and that's a scary place.
Oh yes, dangerous territory there. Well,
I see you got that shoe right there. Do you have that in boys size 1?
I do. I actually... she just like begins to like lead you into the shop. I actually have a lot of shoes. Listen, she's a halfling, right? She's like, there is a concerning lack of diversity in cobblers and the products that they make in this part of the realm. It's an atrocity. So yes, I understand. I have multiple colors, and she like reveals a shelf with a bunch of shoes for people with small feet.
I look for the gaudiest, brightest colors in my size.
Okay, so they are not very fancy, but they are very well made. You find a pair of shoes that have been dyed orange.
Oh. Did you make all these?
I did.
I think you and I are going to be good friends.
She smiles at you. I hope you don't die out there. You're fun.
So I'm gonna choose a nice pair of shoes. I'm gonna get some materials so I can do some crafting,
Okay.
some leather work,
Okay.
and yeah, spend a little time with her. But I keep mind of the clock.
Okay, very good. So we'll shift the scene here. So we see Garen, Pole, and Finn making their way up to the Sea Grove of Obad High. You take the road that takes you away from the heart of Saltmarsh here, and you make your way over towards this small woodland area. You find that it is on the quieter side.
For some reason, Garen's not surprised. But yeah, as they're walking, once the crowds start thinning out, that's when Garen starts telling Paul about, you need to learn discretion.
No, yes.
We were told not to let anyone off that boat.
Yes.
And you almost told the people that
we
told
left
us not to let them off the boat, that we let
Yes.
people off that boat.
We purposely did not tell them about the lizard folk.
Right. Sorry.
So the fact that they were like, wait a minute, how would you have done anything with the lizard folk? I think would have,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was just trying to show off, and I'm sorry.
It's
wanted to
fine.
I wanted to make
no
off,
harm,
you know.
no foul. Nothing happened. We're still on our journey. We're still going to
Yes.
get paid our money for doing what we're going to do. So, as they say, no harm, no foul.
Yes.
Just make
need to be
sure-
careful.
Just use this as a learning moment, and then we'll just
Yes.
move on and just pretend like nothing happened. All right?
I
All right,
love that
thanks.
Finn is doing learning moments now.
Yeah.
It's so
And
funny.
and we also need to apply that to what we just discussed with the council.
True. Yes.
They said keep this quiet. We need to keep this quiet.
Yes.
Right. All right.
Yes.
So- As the group of you make your way into the Sea Grove, you find that there are no trappers, no adventurers here today. Instead, as you enter this clearing amongst the trees, you see off to one side is the wooden statue of Obed High, and before it are those long pews, the very simple logs that have been cut in half for people to sit and rest. In between the two of those, you see sitting down in the grass is Farron Castellar, the druid that works this grove, and next to him is this small purple creature. You see that it has tufts of fur. It seems like a feral thing. There's nothing smooth about it. It seems to be bristling, and it is sitting exactly as he is, butt down, hands on the ground in front of it. And you see what looks kind of like a tiny bear cub with an owl face. And they're looking at each other unblinking. What would you like to do as you're kind of making your way into this area? They are about like 40 feet away from you.
Is Garen feeling tension, or is this just kind of like...
Roll me an insight check.
Alright.
Okay.
First roll of the night is a 19.
19. So as you're kind of looking, I wouldn't say it's tension, but it is great focus.
I think Garen would recognize that right now is not the time to disturb him. But he would sit down where he can be seen on one of the log pews and wait patiently.
Okay. As you do, you can see that Farron's ear closest to you kind of twitches a little in your direction, but he remains staring straight at this baby creature. What do you want to do, Pole and Finn?
Well, Pole, being recently chastened, isn't going to say a word.
Aw.
And he's going to go and sit on the log beside Garen.
Okay.
Wait for something else to happen.
What about Finn?
So he's very focused on this furry thing, yes?
Yes, unblinking.
God, all right. I guess I'll do it. He'll sort of kind of like calmly walk up, I guess, as best he can, and he'll say as best he can without trying to startle or disturb too much or freak out, and be like, "Hello."
Okay. As you speak up, you see the creature kind of suddenly snap up onto all fours like a frightened cat. It kind of arches its back and it looks at you. It goes, "Brrr!" And then all of a sudden it darts and just disappears into a bush. And Farron kind of sighs, and you see him literally deflating in front of you as he lets this intensity just sort of wash off of him. He looks over to you. "Hello, my friend."
Hello.
Go
ahead.
I was hoping to come here before the egg hatched, and I apologize that we didn't.
Oh,
But-
it is fine. I'm glad that you remembered and that you came. This creature, very, very strong resolve. You see him kind of like pushing up onto his feet, and he dusts some grass off of himself, rubs at a few dirt spots on his clothes.
Good. It's
Mhm.
going to need it. No mother.
Yeah.
Well, creatures of the wild are very, very good at being resourceful. I'm certain with the right guidance that the creature will be just fine.
Well, it's very good. But I remember you did not want to be the one to provide that guidance.
No, I do not. And he begins to like slowly walk towards you, and he looks around and says, "Oh, it looks like Loris is not here today."
Well, I will take responsibility for the animal and do the best I can to get it into the wild and make certain it is prepared for the wild.
I think that perhaps you should give me some more time with it. I am trying to establish, what would you say? A baseline. I think the
Okay.
creature is too frightened for travel.
It did just run into a bush.
Yes, I can understand that.
It
just
is quite
concerned-
young.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just concerned because we are about to leave town for an extended period.
Hmm. Well, either perhaps things will work out for us, or there will be a wild baby owl bear somewhere here in Saltmarsh.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of cut and dry, isn't it?
I will not be able to control this creature, but it seems to have taken a liking to the sea grove here. I doubt that it will want to willingly make its way into Saltmarsh, as long as there's food around and I am providing for it.
Well, I mean, if you think you can keep it sedated for a while, and it doesn't seem to be aggressive towards wanting to leave and enjoying its view here, maybe that'll be just enough time for us to go do what we need to do and get back.
Well, it will be important for the creature to know aggression to protect itself.
Yes.
It is natural. But yes, do not worry. It will be fine for some time. Just do not forget about them. And he just
Yeah.
kind of like rubs at the back of his neck.
Oh, I don't think you got to worry about. We did come back, right? Who
You
said
did.
We can't come
Thank
back
you.
again.
Yes,
And I
of
have
course.
absolute faith in you.
Thank you.
You are clearly a very capable and knowledgeable druid.
Well, I owe you one as well. You did assist me with the omens.
Yes, we did.
Right.
Well, do take care, Varen.
I will. I hope you
I
do
will-
as well.
I will do my best, and I promise. And I will return here once we are back in Saltmarsh, unless I am unable to return to Saltmarsh.
Paul, can I get an insight check from you? Okay, an 8. So you aren't quite sure why, but you feel this really strong pull all of a sudden. As you're kind of like sitting there, a little chastised, right? You're kind of on the quiet side. You're looking around. I think this is the first time you're in the Sea Grove. Wait, were you here before?
I think I saw the egg.
You saw the
Yeah,
egg. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of like looking around in that area and you see that the egg had been set up right next to the statue of Obad High, this wooden sculpture of what you see to be a greenbeard. It's an old weathered man face, and instead of a beard, there's oak leaves. And as you're kind of looking in that direction, you feel something inside of you kind of pulling you towards it as this conversation is going on between Farron, Finn, and Garen.
Well, Paul occasionally acts on impulse, so Paul will get up and start walking towards it.
Okay.
The statue.
As you begin to walk towards it, you swear you can see the mouth slowly beginning to open.
Hello?
You see that there's a void where its mouth is, and a tiny hand reaches out, and a small body begins to leverage itself out of the mouth. And you see Penny Sprinkle.
Penny! Penny, is that really you?
Paul? Paul? And you see her kind of shaking her head, looking up at you. And there's something a little strange about her. She seems desaturated. It's almost as if the color has been drained out of her. She looks a bit pale. The colors of her clothes are a bit on the gray side.
Are you a ghost?
I hope not. And she begins to like look at herself. I don't feel like a ghost.
Well, you look like a ghost. You're all pale and see-through.
Oh, she is corporeal, so you don't actually
Okay.
like see through her, but she
Okay.
does look pale. Yeah. Well, pinch me. Do it.
All right. Where?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll pinch your toe.
Okay. Oh. You pinch her toe. Nothing happens. Oh. I don't know what that means.
Did you feel it?
I did.
Oh, that's good.
I think that means I'm not a ghost.
All right. Now I'll pinch myself and make sure you're not a dream. Huh?
Did you feel it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's not a dream. You're not a ghost.
Okay.
So, are you hungry?
You see her just kind of like slump down, sitting on like this like protruding lip of Obadhai. She's, I'm starving.
All right. So I'll dig out some little bit of food that I've got secreted in my pocket. There's a little bit of muffin.
See her tiny hands reach out and she takes it and begins.
Oh, well. Do you feel any better? You look still pale.
She begins to like talk around the food and you see some of the really tiny crumbs falling out of her mouth and she's like, I think I'm doing better. Paul, I don't know what happened. Just darkness came over me and all of a sudden I'm here again. I don't
Well,
know.
I thought you got killed. It looked like someone killed you and then you just disappeared. Like,
Oh.
I don't know what happened. Like, you were disintegrated.
Oh. Well, I'm here now.
I'm glad you're back. Oh, I've been screwing up all the time without you here. I don't know what's going on, but I'm happy you're back. Maybe that old man was okay. I thought he was messing me up with Ralashaz or something. But you're back. It's great. I gotta tell everybody. I'll bring her over to Garen and Finn. Look. Penny's back.
Penny's back?
Something wrong with her, but I think it's really her. She's really back.
You see Penny
Oh.
Sprinkle just kind of waving a little, still munching away at the muffin.
Well, that's good. We were very concerned.
I don't know what
Good.
happened.
Well, it's good you're back.
It is, I think. We missed having you around.
I was only gone for a few minutes.
Few
Seemed longer to
days.
us.
Oh.
Yeah.
She just kind of quietly resumes eating.
So, regardless,
Yeah.
we get the positive news. Looks like we got Penny back. Maybe Pull. Well, I don't want you to feel too bad. I'm hoping that Penny being back will bring you and cheer you up a little bit.
It does. It does. Everything's much better now. Thank you.
Good.
Good.
All right. Well, yeah, it was a good reason we came up here then, huh? Other than meeting our little owl bear buddy, who apparently is not fond of not hiding in a bush.
You see Farron kind of put his hands on his hips and he says, right, I should probably go look for him. Make sure that he's going to be okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Do you need
but
help
I
with it?
smile upon you. No, it should be fine.
Okay.
I think probably the fewer people, the better.
Okay.
Yes, that makes sense.
His eyes kind of glance over Pole as he begins to walk back, and he says, everything has a way of coming back to us. It is the cycle. It is the cycle of nature.
That's really nice to think.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's really nice to think.
And he continues walking. And as the group of you are beginning to make your way out of the sea grove, we hear Penny kind of looking up at you and says, Paul, what happened to your hat?
Oh, I don't really understand what happened. All my stuff disappeared. All my clothes, all my armor, even my shoes.
I'm
I made
gone.
new ones, but they're not very comfortable.
I'm gone for 5 minutes, and look what happens to you. Mm.
I'm so glad you're back.
I'm glad too. Where are we? And so as the group of you begin to go, the screen will shift, and we see Arlen. Hannah has taken you back to the snapping line. And she has sat you down at one of the tables here in the main room, and she's pulled out a ledger. And she tells you, my family has in commission a number of ships. We use them to ferry our claw wine and other necessary goods. So, I'm very glad that you came to me for this. This is something that I know what to do.
Good. So, what do we need to do?
Oh, there will be paperwork you need to fill. I can help you with that. And like she begins like writing and pulling out some papers and stuff as she's speaking to you. But the most important thing is for you to decide what you're going to use the ship for. What are your limits?
Well, I suppose that we'll use it for traveling, and while we're docked and we have to go inland to do various quests that the council puts us onto, perhaps the ship can be rented by some council member or other rich person in the city, and they can use it to go out and fish, since there aren't any fish in the area currently.
Yes. Well, you will need a crew, and there are a number of ways that we could handle that. Either I can find you one myself, or you can conduct a number of interviews.
How many do we need?
She gives you a number.
Oh, like, that seems fair.
I think it's like 6. Hold
Why don't
on.
you find a crew for us?
I can do that.
And
You see her kind of hesitating a moment, and she's trying to do like an insight check on you. She says, lowering her voice, even though you are the only 2 people here. You don't want to smuggle anything, do you?
No.
Okay, good. Oh, that would be a terrible idea, by the way.
Yeah, I don't want to get the ship in the exact sort of trouble it was in before.
That is not the direction that we should go with Saltmarsh.
No.
Piracy
I
and
imagine
smuggling. Very rampant here.
Exactly.
Very good. Well, she looks at the number of papers strewn about, and she keeps handing them over to you, and a lot of it is like legal garbage and like, you know, all the licensing and just like making sure that you pay the king of Kyoland what he's due and all of that. There is a map that she pulls out, and she points at it and says, well, if you recall the meeting, we have something that we can do with this ship, if you like.
All right. And what's that?
And she points at the map and she says, so here is where the lair was spotted. It is close to the shore, It is a large ship, however. You will not be able to bring it to shore. It will have to stay out in the ocean. It cannot go into shallow water. So it is an option. If you'd like to coast along the shoreline and have your crew with you, you can ride your ship out to the marsh. Or you can go on foot.
How long do you think it would take to sail there?
She gives you a number?
Is it much shorter than
Yeah, of
if
course
we were
it
to
is.
walk?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
So I suppose it's the matter of expediency. And, well, and she kind of smooths out her hair, you will have to consider once you take the ship out to sea, that is when you're going to have to start paying your crew.
Oh, that's not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's a smart idea. Why don't you find us a crew?
All right.
If you would, please contact Imrith of the Town Guard.
Okay.
We worked with her previously, and if she would like to join, I would like to have her.
All right.
But other than that, it is up to your discretion. Just people that seem handy and useful.
She's taking notes as you're saying all of this. Absolutely, I can take care of this.
Good. I think we'd like to sail tomorrow morning, if possible. So if we can get all of this done before then, that would be preferable.
Oh, so you do want to take the ship?
Yes.
Very good. Well, if you want to leave tomorrow, it is already about 3 p.m. You will find that perhaps you don't have the best crew. You'll have the fastest assembled crew.
There are no fish out in the ocean currently anywhere nearby.
That's true.
There are bound to be some good sailors
All right.
sitting and waiting for an opportunity.
I will do what I can. I will not disappoint you, Ireland.
I'm going to give her a bag of 50 gold.
For hiring, I presume.
$50 for hiring, and I'll drop another $50 for your assistance.
Oh. I will definitely make sure you're happy with this.
Good.
Thank you for your generosity.
Of course. Now, I need some bloody rest.
I will make sure you are not disturbed.
Thank you. And then I'm gonna head upstairs.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So, KayBee, you make your purchase. You have a number of materials. You have brand new boots. They are orange, like a bright neon orange color. What would you like to do now?
So I go back to the snapping line, and when I arrive, I swing the door open, I step in, and I just stand there, kind of making the statement, "I have arrived," so people can see me in my boots.
Okay. So there are 3 people in there when you arrive. One of them is Hannah. Hannah just kind of leans over the counter and says, "Is something wrong, KayBee?"
No, everything is great.
Oh.
How are you doing?
Oh, nice shoes. Where?
I know, right?
Where did you get those?
Kiorna Kester,
Ah, yes.
she's the best.
She's all right. Well, Arlen is upstairs. Please do not disturb her.
Oh, when did she go up there?
About an hour ago.
Oh, okay. Well, here, I got some ideas for food. Let me show you I'm going to share it with Arlen later. I want to show her a menu for when we travel.
So I spend a little bit of time if there's nobody else around. I'm just gonna.
There are a few patrons, but it's the kind of occupancy that you could leave them be, they'll be fine.
Yep. So I'm just gonna kind of get some ideas from her for things to cook when I'm on the trail. I'm preparing a menu for Arlen's approval.
Okay, excellent.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me cooking utensils if you have it.
Sweet.
Okay, 13. Very good. So, Garen, Paul, and Finn, you are leaving the grove. What would you like to do now?
Oh, Finn, did
Yeah.
Anders tell you how much he was paying us?
Would Finn have asked? I didn't actually ask. But he said that he would. Oh,
I think it was 200 gold.
Okay. Oh, that's right. It
No.
was in the contract.
it was
he
in the
gave us.
contract. Yes. So it
Yep.
was in the contract, is what he's sending.
Okay.
And I had him send it over to the Sleeping Lion.
Okay.
So that way
Then-
it's more. That way it'll be to us and not to. We won't have to make an extra trip to somewhere else. It'll be right where we're.
Right. And about what time is it, DM?
It's about 3 p.m. right now.
Okay, so Garen can probably stop by the guardhouse and report in with Firebrand.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it's along the way there. No, it's
Kinda,
not.
sorta. Yeah, it's pretty much the opposite direction, I think.
Okay.
We're going past the end to get there. but-
Yeah. So you start at 29, you go down this road, you're following the river, and you'll have to cross the bridge and go all the way to number 2 here.
Right. So Garen would look at Finn and pull. I'm going to report in with Firebrand at the guardhouse. The two
Okay.
of you are welcome to join me if you want, but we are pretty much going past the end. So if you want to go back to the end, that's fine.
I think I'll follow with you.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go down to the market. I gotta buy some stuff if we're gonna be traveling. All my
Okay.
clothes got wrecked and stuff.
Oh, true.
that's right.
How much gold do you have anything on you?
Oh man, I have way more gold than I'll ever use. Don't worry.
Okay, I want to
Okay.
make sure you're good before you start going out. And okay, all right. If you're good with gold, then yeah, go ahead and I guess report back at the inn.
Aye, we'll see you there.
All right, I trust you. Go get some cool stuff.
Be careful, Paul.
Yes.
Garen heads on.
Okay, so it'll be probably around like closer to 5 by the time you get to the barracks here. And as you do, you see that there is something going on in front of them. You see that there are 2 people being dragged towards the barracks. They seem to be dressed like dock workers, and they are trying to fist fight the guards as they are being bodily handled. They're shouting. There are people trying to swerve out the way here. And you see Eleander step out of the guardhouse, and he is barking orders to his men.
All right.
Oh, we picked a good
So-
time, huh?
Yeah. I think Garen would find a conspicuous spot to kind of stand and wait for the commotion to die down
Okay.
Same.
Yeah.
before
Same.
approaching.
Yeah, there are a few more guards that come out of the guardhouse, and they definitely have it under control. You see them pull the people inside and presumably to the prison. And Eleander rubs at his temples. He looks very irritated. And you haven't really seen him break his demeanor.
No.
Not even once yet. And he turns around and he notices you, and he straightens a little. Says, "What can I do for you?"
We just wanted to check in with you. We performed a task for Anders,
Mhm.
but with all the commotion that was going on, we hadn't had a chance to turn it in with him.
Right.
He had us investigate a mine near the Dwarven mines as to why it had been shut down.
Yes. All right. Come with me. And he'll begin to direct you through the barracks, and he takes you to his office. You find a very austere looking room. There's basically bookshelf, a desk, and chairs, and that's it. It's not really decorated very much. Very militaristic.
Yeah. I think this is like the third time Garen's been in his office.
Yeah. So he sits down and he holds his hand out expectantly. He says, where's your contract?
Uh-oh. Finn, don't you have that?
I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do. Oh, yeah,
you've
cool.
Pretty much been the one
Unless
holding it
Arlen
all.
has it.
Sorry, what do I have? Maybe. Sorry.
The contract.
The
Contract
contract
with
from
Anders.
Anders.
Oh, I wouldn't have had that. I don't think
Okay, yeah,
Arlen's
Finn,
met,
you-
actually met Anders
Yeah, Finn,
Yeah,
you
I
have
heard
it.
so.
personally.
All right, Finn has it. Finn hands it over.
Okay. Yeah, he looks it over and you see him pull out a ledger and he begins to scribble notes into it. He says, "Very good, yes. And what do you have to report from your endeavor here with this one?"
The mine was full of undead, and then as we delved deeper, we entered into a pool of what once was water, but was fetid with decaying flesh.
I
And
see.
there was a large creature that none of us recognized.
Yeah.
Nearly ate two of our friends.
And
We
he
eventually felled it.
Yeah, and he takes like notes of like physical description of it and all of that.
And we give everything we can.
Yeah.
And we also came upon 2 clusters of gems. Purple
Gems.
glowing gems.
Well, I believe the monster, one of the monsters, came out of the gems. The
No,
clusters, didn't it?
I think it came out of the pile of bones.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I must have just confused the two. I had my head smacked a couple times in the
Yes.
process, so I apologize. If I,
There was
if
a
I
lot
had
of
to-
head smacking. There was a point where 2 heads got smacked together.
Yeah, and I think
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
Finn's
yeah.
head was one of them.
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Yes, it was me and
Quick.
Quick,
You and
yeah.
Quick,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
nearly
Yeah.
died
So
that
he
night.
takes like all of the details here, and he says, "Very good, as promised." He just reaches underneath his desk. You hear a combination being rung, and then he pulls out some coins. He drops it on the desk and slides it towards you.
Oh,
Thank you. And then Garen's mindset, he can't help it. He hears the clicking. He's trying to recognize what he's
Okay.
he recognizes it.
So go ahead and roll me a perception check. This is going to be a very high DC.
Oh, I'm sure.
21. Okay. So I will keep that in mind. You feel okay about it. Because it
Okay.
is some pretty subtle clicking.
Yeah.
And there's people shouting and like, "Let me out,
Yeah.
I'm innocent, I didn't hurt that person, I didn't steal that, I haven't committed a crime in my life."
oh
Right.
yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of noise. But he says to you, "I would like you to resume this very task. Do not forget, I want you to get closer to Anders."
We are doing our
Oh.
best.
I don't think that'll be that hard to do, but yeah.
Very good.
Between the mission on the boat and the mission that the council has just assigned us, we won't have much opportunity until we get back.
Mhm.
Of course, understandably. Well, keep me informed.
Yes.
I appreciate you checking in. And be careful, both in and out of Saltmarsh. As you saw earlier, people are starting to get a bit unsettled.
Yes. Yeah, it's especially with the task we were given. It seems like a lot of people are a little bit unsettled about the unknown.
Oh, I mean,
So-
there is a lot going on. Everybody's going to Gunage.
Yeah, I
No
mean,
fish.
between
This
what we
heat.
were just told and the fish and everything else, I mean, it just seems like one
Hmm.
thing after another.
Hmm.
But we'll figure it out. We'll take it one step at a time. We'll get there.
Hmm. Dismissed.
Very well.
Yes, sir.
Alright, so Garen tucks the large, heavy coin purse into his left
It's
arm.
so heavy. It's 200 gold heavy.
Right. Oh my god. And then heads back to the sleeping lion or snapping lion?
The snapping line.
Snapping line.
line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a fishing line.
Yeah, I kept calling it
No to
lion.
both.
I apologize.
No,
Yeah.
it's fine. It's fine.
I keep thinking it's lion too, so.
So as the group like comes back together at the snapping line, Arlen, you find sleep.
Finally.
Uh-huh.
Roll me a Constitution
Peaceful
saving throw.
sleep. Finally,
Roll me a Constitution saving
finally,
throw.
I get to rest in peace.
17. Okay. You do find sleep. You find restful sleep. You don't dream at all. Your body just shuts down and you heal. When you wake, though, it's that strange feeling of being able to perceive what's around you, but there's a heaviness to your body. You can't quite move your arms, your legs, your toes. You feel like parts of you are still waking up, but your consciousness, your ability to comprehend what's going on is focused. You have drawn the Fates card. You get to choose an event and change it however you want. I'm going to give you a minute to think about what you want here.
That'd be good.
As you lay there with sleep paralysis. But everyone else, you are in the snapping line. Arlen has gone to bed. Hannah has made it very clear that Arlen is very tired. You should let her rest for a little longer.
Fair. That's fair. When we woke her up earlier, it looked like she had gotten no sleep at all. But you know, I don't always pry her. However, it is 5 at night. I don't remember the last time I ate.
Oh, of course.
Is there any food?
Yes. There's so much. KayBee and I have been working together tirelessly in the kitchen over the last few hours.
I should have known if KayBee's back there. There's a lot of good things being made.
Well, come with me. Come into the kitchen. KayBee will show you everything.
Okay.
And as she walks with you into the back, she will say the same thing to you as she had with Arlen about like the location of the lair, and say along the lines of, Arlen has said that perhaps you should take the ship. So I will be looking for a crew as quickly as possible.
Oh. Okay. That sounds good. Yeah. I mean, I think it'll help, and hopefully, maybe. I think one big thing it'd be helpful is to see how far out this fish shortage is. If it's just this area, or if it's farther down in the ocean. Because there's got to be a point where we can find out that there's some fish, but I just wonder how far out.
Well, I don't know. If you want to go fishing, I doubt it's going to be in the direction of the lair.
Oh, yeah, true. I don't... That's just my thought about using the ship. I don't know what Arlen's got. I'll have to talk to her about what she wants done with it, but I trust her. Whatever she wants to do with it.
Yes, of course. Well, KayBee, why don't you tell everyone about what is here to eat?
There's so many things for us to take, and I got ideas for recipes, and I looked in our recipe book. There's some really good stuff in there. So I think for tomorrow night, we're going to do baked phoenix fish. There's a new recipe for blackberry custard. The boiled eggs with cinnamon. Oh, they're so good. I think you'll like that.
She leans over to no one in particular and says, the phoenix fish is not actually fish. There's no fish in Saltmarsh right now.
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. It's a secret.
Real quick, DM. Is Ella in the dining room or no?
Not yet.
Okay.
And there's all kinds of good things. There'll be some surprises for you as well.
Oh, surprises! Great.
You always make good food, KayBee.
You do. I much appreciate it.
With that 13 cook's utensils, as the group of you begin to sample and buffet style dig into the food, it's all very good and it's very filling. And Hannah talks up everything, says, "Oh, KayBee, you were such a culinary master."
Oh, you taught me some new secrets.
A collaboration, yes.
Give her a wink.
She blushes. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Garen actually struggles a little bit with just sampling. He wants to sit down and eat a whole dish, and then he's like, oh.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh, yes, please, sit down, eat, relax." And that is about the time that the door opens, and you see Ella poking her head in, looks around, looks at the group of you.
I'll be back later. And he goes and meets Ella.
Okay.
All right.
Did you want to kind of encourage her in, or do you want to go outside? She's kind of just in the door right now.
Yeah, he'll encourage her in.
Okay.
Are you hungry?
Yes, I'm famished.
Come, KayBee makes great food.
Oh, all right. She closes the door quietly behind her, and she moves over and has a seat. She looks uncomfortable. She's not relaxed at all.
Garen will start grabbing some food, put it in front of her.
See a tiny red hand just snatch something off the plate into the folds of her cloak, and she begins to slowly eat. And she's
Should I get
looking
another
around.
Plate for your friend too.
Glob will be fine.
Bob. Okay.
Yes. Well, thank you for the food. Hello, everyone.
So is she with the group?
Yeah, she's sitting down eating next to Garen.
Okay, I wasn't sure if they had went to a different table, he went away with her just at a separate table, or that she was with the group.
Well, the group kind of start off in the kitchen, and you're all kind of filtering out with your plates, so you can sit wherever you want.
Yeah.
So
he's kind of hiding in plain sight with her.
okay, so I'm guessing then Finn sees this and Finn recognizes her.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, it's you again.
Hello.
It's very it's kind of odd that you're here, same place we are, but
She just kind of hunkers down and starts eating.
I mean, KayBee makes really good
Okay.
food. Yeah.
He does, and she could be able to give us some useful information.
Oh.
I will try my best. And then the camera will shift, and we go back to Arlen.
As Arlen lays in her bed, her limbs frozen, her mind racing.
By the way, you don't have this sense of you're a prisoner in your own body. It's not like that. It's more of you're slowly waking up piece by piece.
Yeah.
Kind of like a computer booting in stages.
Okay. Her mind drifts back towards her father, to the anger she feels for him, for the disappointment she always felt towards him, the disappointment that he seemed in his later years to have become a coward just because he lost a friend. Arlen heard stories of an old adventuring partner of her parents named Ariana Crow. And when Ariana died is when her parents quickly called it quits on the adventuring life. And her death is the reason that for so long, her parents, and particularly her father, swore that she would never be allowed to be an adventurer. She saw fear and doubt creep into their lives over the fact that over whether Arlen could protect herself or not. And as she thinks now of what she could change, she takes away their trauma, and she would like to bring Ariana Crow back to life.
Okay. Is this like a go back and undo it, or kind of like restore it as it is now?
I think a go back and do it sort of thing.
Okay. So as you are thinking about this, all of a sudden it almost feels as if yourself, you are cracked in half, and you just feel like almost as if your entire form shifts. There's an imbalance, almost as if you were laying on some uneven surface, and you're just suddenly aware that your body is really sore on one side. And then as you sit up, you feel that feeling fade away. It's almost as if someone had ripped a sheet or torn a book out of a page. Something has changed. You won't quite understand what the ramifications of that are quite yet. But you have drawn the skull card, which now has a new description in our revised deck of many things. Dark forces work against you. The next encounter is harder. Ariana Crow breathes once more, walks this world, but because of them being here, events beyond your perception have led somehow to the people working against you to be a little stronger, and it's worked in their benefit. And we'll find out all of that next time, because that's going to be our session for today.
Yay!
Woo! Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I really, really appreciate all of the show of support. You are so fucking cool. Thank you so much, everyone. We're going to go around, and please tell me who you are, where we can find you, and tell me what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll start with Emma.
Hi, it's me, Emma, also known as Emma Panada. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Emma Panada. On Twitch, I run TTRPG games, and on Twitter, I shitpost. My favorite part of the session was definitely Finn giving teaching advice. It's just a cute little moment, and I liked it a lot. It's come full circle.
It's so good. Yes. Ah, the apprentice has apprentice. I love it. Thank you so much. Next, we have GeekDice.
Hey folks, I'm GeekDice, having a lot of fun with this game. You can find me here every other Wednesday. I will see you in 2 weeks. My favorite part of tonight, I think as well, was related to Finn. Just his confidence, his, really, I guess, manifestation and channeling of the leader. I'm really enjoying seeing Finn blossom into somebody worth following. I'll follow all of you pretty soon, I'm sure.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah. Was it last episode that KayBee got knighted?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Next, we have GodfatherWraith.
Hi, I'm Tim. I pretty much have no social media presence, but you can always find me here in Stella's chat whenever she's live, as well as various other members of the community when they go live. My favorite moment, well, this was apparently Finn's night to shine, because I absolutely adored the I don't want to wake her moment that Garen he had with Garen, and then also with Quick.
That was really funny.
It was.
Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Next we have Indicarus.
Hi, I'm John. I'm Indicarus as well. I've got something coming up in the new year that I want to tell people about. You'll find the link to the papercutarcade.ca. That's my art collective, and we're doing something interesting this year with calendars. So if anyone collects calendars for whatever fandoms they're into, or just has them from or else paper calendars, we're doing a thing where we're gonna make art out of them, or games, or both, or whatever. We're gonna make stuff out of calendars in the new year. So if I haven't got anything really about it on there yet, but if you want to bookmark it, there'll be announcements, and we'll be starting that in January, February. My favorite thing today, I liked all the Finn stuff too. It was great. But I'm gonna say just to add something different, because I don't want to run out of all the Finn stuff. That I really liked Arlen's rejection of the sword and going to the new club thing, or having at least thoughts about that, because I was definitely very worried about my awkwardly and probably too quickly worded wish from a few sessions ago, and to see that it's actually turning into something fun, I think, and useful for Emma, for developing her character, is good and cool, and so I'm very happy about that.
Yay! Yeah, don't worry. It was totally fine. We're always going to make sure that everyone at the table is getting exactly what they want. That everyone gets to experience the story that they're after, and we'll always make it work. So I think this is awesome. I think that it's going to be a very interesting dynamic as Arlen gets pulled between two forces instead of one. We will see what happens. Next, we've got Zombie.
Hello, I am Jacob. I'm Zombie. I am Z. I am any of those three names you want to call me. I am the lore keeper, clip master. Probably do too many clips, but that's up to your own discretion. Apparently this is my episode to shine. I wasn't expecting that, but hey, I appreciate everyone at the table and everyone in chat who feels like I've kind of been doing really well lately with Finn. I think one other moment I'll throw cash on Finn is that, at least for me personally, because I've been working on Finn for at least a year or so, ever since I kind of got that spark back into D&D thanks to this channel and others. I really wanted to build sort of a character, and I always wanted there to be some sort of tragedy with him. And so you're starting to kind of learn about that second tragedy with me introducing Abigail a little bit within this episode. I just thought it'd be a really cute idea that the first thing to see it would be this little imp buddy that's been like, or this little dragon character that's been sort of with me. And I thought that would be kind of cute to sort of incorporate him as in the reveal, or part of the reveal, at least to the audience. And then I think what other thing I would like to sort of bring in, and because I think it's really cool, because I wanna bring in more of what Pole did. I'm happy Penny's back. Like that made me super happy that we were able to get Penny back into the game, and so Pole feels whole again. Pole feels happy again, because you could sort of see this, like, Pole he's lost. He's just like, I don't know where to go. Things had color and now they were gray, but now it looks like color is starting to brighten back up into Pole's world again. And so I'm just sort of happy to see that for him so much. So yeah. And then as far as where you can find me, you can find me on twitter.com/zombiefighter89. Twitter. I do post here and there. I've been trying to do a weekly post with all the games that I'm part of, because I'm also part of the Witchlight game, which you will see Emma at this week. It'll be her first appearance, and I can't wait to meet the character. It's going to be great. So that'll be a lot of fun. And then I do a Monday show, Nights in Nirvana, 8 p.m. Eastern time as well. And then I may as well go ahead and throw this out there now. I'm in the beginning stages of doing editing for sort of a freelancing sort of thing. DMs, you can find me on Discord. You can find me in Stella's Discord. I live there. That's my home now. Same with Robos. You can find me there. And if you want to if you don't have a Discord, just DM me on Twitter Twitter. My brain had a long day. Brain's frying. But yeah, so I'm early stages editing. I'm not sure right on my rates right now. I do have one or so paid projects coming up that I'm excited about. So yeah, I want to edit. I love editing. Let me edit for you. I'm pretty good, I think. Yay.
Thank you so much. You can find Robo's link there in the chat as well. I'm still Luna. Hello, everyone. I hope that you had a wonderful time here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of the show of generosity and support. We are going to be having a break from Unbound, so we won't be back until the 7th of January with Unbound. That's our regular Friday show. So the next stream here will probably be Monday, where I play a variety video game with my best friend. And then, of course, next Wednesday is going to be The Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign, which is our other Greyhawk Patreon game. This game will be back in 2 weeks, so we will be back on the 5th of January to continue this story. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Have a wonderful night.
Stella, before we leave, favorite moment?
Yeah, what was your favorite part?
Yeah.
Oh,
do it too.
God, it's so hard. I hate answering this question.
You make us answer it.
I
you need to
know,
also.
I know. It's only fair. Man, I liked. This is gonna be so lame, but I liked that y'all got the ship, and there are things going on that happened this episode that are turning the ship into something that is going to be a plot point, that's going to be something that can be used and it's useful. It's going to become like a pretty substantial thing for the group. It's not a small thing to have a whole boat, right? And like, I get to see some things that you don't, because I can, I have to deal with the foresight of where that's going to go. But I'm really hyped for it because we are starting on that path of having boat and doing boat things, right? Because then that makes the world a lot smaller because you have this vehicle to drive you in that direction. And it's like, if you play your cards right, like maybe this boat like will join you after Saltmarsh, after we finish this game, right? So it's like one of those kind of really permanent, really substantial things, unless you fucking sink it. So don't sink your boat.
I hope there aren't any, rampaging Sahagin or anything that would wreck that for us.
I'm sure you don't have to worry about that. Not even a little bit.
Why would you put that in her head?
I know it's in the book. I just know we already talked to the elf about it.
We did talk to an elf about Sahagin, but you'll have to tune in next time to get more information about that. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
Bye.